back, baby.
Yo, welcome to another episode of Big Mike and Little Ant. Another review for you guys here on a Sunday. I'm on location, as you can see, but we are going to review or finish our review for the What If series right now.
Yep.
How you doing today, Ant, on a Sunday morning, man?
Man, I'm good. I've been cranking out content. As you can see, the king of content is crazy because now I got the new fold. Now I got more content. Like I've already purchased like 3 cases. And I want to do a review for each, reviewing the phone. I'm just been busy, man, making content.
I've been watching and I've been liking and stuff like that. I watched the phone videos and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty dope. As you can see, I did a review with Chris for the Sopranos prequel. Did you watch it?
I did. Yeah, I commented.
Okay. I go back to the comments. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
You know what happens is because we have this channel. Yeah. And then we have our own channels, so we don't get notifications that someone. I don't know why. Well, I guess we wouldn't. We wouldn't get notifications that someone commented on this unless we was actually in this profile. So the other day I clicked on and I was like, "Oh, we have people. You have more people comment on your Sopranos thing. You got to check it out."
I will check it out. Yeah. And I do plan on still doing a No Time to Die spoiler-free review. So I wouldn't see that by myself on Thursday night for the audience. So that's coming up. Just let them know. And then when Josh watches it, our guy Josh Waring, we're going to do a spoiler review of it. So it should be,
cool.
It should be pretty dope. And that movie, I will say before I let you guys go, I'm going to say this real quick. It's a thumbs up. No Time to Die. It's so good. Just to let you know. You too. Anyway, hey, man, we're here for What If, and let's bring in our guest, man. You introduce him, man.
Yeah, man. So, I love to introduce Dave, your guy. You met him, but I definitely can call him a friend after knowing him for the time I've known him. He is the comic connoisseur, none other than Mr. Dave himself. Dave, what's up, baby?
What's good, man? Another week, another review. I'm ready, man. Love it.
And look at this, man. Let me bring him our other guest, popped up right on time. We're about to start. He's been on since the beginning with us with these What If reviews, going back to Loki. My guy, longtime friend, E. Money. What's going on, E?
Yo.
What up?
What's going on, gentlemen?
Just in the nick of time.
You right on time, bro.
Right on time.
Perfect.
So it's fine. So with the What If review, let's go back to the we left off in episode 6.
No. We left off episode 5.
Well, we left off 5. We're on episode 6 right now. So episode 6, and I don't know where E just went, but I'm sure he'll be back in. But episode 6 was What If Killmonger had to rescue Tony. Now, I don't know how much Dave. I don't know when you watched it, Dave. Maybe a while ago. I know Tony just watched it recently.
Yeah, not that long ago.
Yeah. So, but in the episode, we saw Killmonger. We saw Iron Man 1 play out basically in the beginning.
The beginning scene,
Instead of Tony getting kidnapped by the 10 rings, Killmonger rescued him, and we see his whole plan unfold. So before I even get into that, what do you think of the premise for the episode, Dave?
I thought it was a good idea. I thought it started off good. It was definitely it threw me a little bit for a loop because I'm sure everybody else's question was the same. What the hell's Killmonger doing there? Like at that moment, at that time. But as you see, the episode filled that out. But yeah, it seemed like it was going to set off with a bang, and it did because the Iron Man set Iron Man off with a bang. So it was kind of like the same scene. You know what I mean? I kind of got that same feeling like yes, things are going to get wild now. But yeah, it set up the episode really well.
Okay, E, can you hear us, buddy?
My fault. Hold on, let me fix this.
All right, I'll let you go. We think about how the episode set up and about how how it started off with the Killmonger.
Okay, so I will say this. Let's also remember. I think this is cool. This is probably the quickest. This is probably the shortest time Dave ever spoke ever. But we do got 4 of these things to get through because we've been pretty busy. So we got 4, and I appreciate that, Dave. So let's keep it short and sweet because we're gonna get through all 4, dissect them as you narrators might. I thought, okay, so I'm going into this. Never, it's just a what if, so it's a made up concept of what if. So I was like, okay, I'll bite. Killmonger is the one that saved Tony. It's the what ifs always start off with something that never happened in the MCU that we know of. So it was, I didn't see it coming. I never heard of it. So it was like, okay, cool. I'll bite. So I didn't have a problem with it at all. I was cool with this
All right.
concept.
Well, since Dave did too, how'd you like the start of it? Of him rescuing Tony in the war, like that whole scene, how it played out.
So that was cool. They literally took what we seen before, but they switched it up. You know what I'm saying? It still was action packed. You know, you got Killmonger out there just taking people down. Tony's running and hiding. So I thought that was pretty cool. It gave me a glimpse, the flashback of Captain Carter. So it's like, wow. So will he become Iron Man or will he not? It's just like now because of Captain Carter. Captain America wasn't, or Steve Rogers wasn't Captain America. So in the back of my mind, I was like, "Ooh, how does this change things?" So
right. So Dave, I do want to say, so if you remember in Black Panther, when what's the guy, the CIA agent Martin, what's his name?
Ross.
Ross. When they was explaining who Killmonger was, they said that he had killed a bunch of Arabics in the war. That's the same war Tony was at. So he would have been there because they were telling his story. That was the war he was talking about and whatnot. But E, you hear us, buddy?
Yo,
Can you hear us?
everybody sounds a little low, and I don't know why.
We all hear each other fine.
yeah, just turn it up. Turn your thing up louder. If you can do that.
Turn my headphones up.
All right, well, I'm gonna go. I thought it was a great premise. I thought that I like Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger, so it was good to see him back, playing the character. Like you said, Anthony, it went from like scene to scene. The whole part with the cell phones, don't put this on your MySpace, like the whole part. I thought that was great. And Iron Man 1 is still one of the best MCU movies, so I'm always good to see stuff like that. So Dave, as we get into the episode, as we wait for E, we see that he did rescue him and they become friends. And then Killmonger in the first scene gets a medal for rescuing him, but then he outs Obadiah Stane for being the one who actually in real life also tried to get Tony kidnapped and killed. So how do you feel about that whole part when he outed him and stuff like that?
That's when the episode started getting silly.
Why?
Okay. Everything after that felt like a MacGuffin. When I use that term, I mean it's like they put it in there because we need to get to point B, so let's just make this crazy thing happen out of nowhere. Like he could have told Tony that Obadiah Stane was responsible back in the desert, but they wait for him to get on this big stage, have a huge party. You don't party with the dude already, and then you get everybody on stage and then reveal it. It's like at that point, I'm like, come on, Tony is smarter than that. Like,
wait, but didn't he collect evidence to show at the party? Like, he didn't know the desert.
Well, he had to know the desert because that's why he was there.
Wait.
He
It
found
wasn't
out
about
that
Tony. Dave, it wasn't about Tony. It was about Killmonger. Killmonger is the one that outed him, and I feel like this was. Now I get what you're saying. It was a weird placement, but I feel like this was called character development for the Killmonger we're about to learn. That's what that's why he did it.
I felt like it was very rushed character development, and then it's just like. He's like, yo, yeah, I have everything right here, all in this little hologram device. Like, you already had all the evidence already laid out, meaning he had it for some time. He didn't just do that at the party. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. I mean, maybe he wanted to. Maybe he did want to do it in public rather than do it in private.
No, that's where I took it.
What does it benefit him? Like,
well, first of all, to make sure he get captured. If you do it right in public. He got like they did. They ran up there and grabbed him and arrested him in public. He had nowhere to run. That's perfect, Yeah,
I guess, but right. I mean, they could have arrested him at Stark Industries the same way they could have arrested him.
Well, they could have arrested him anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
he could have been at McDonald's.
There was no iron suit for them to have to contend with him. He didn't even have the idea of the suit because Stan only got the idea from the suit from Tony building the suit. Tony never had an opportunity to build a suit. So there was no fear of Steen. What's he gonna hit him with a Segway? Like, you know what I mean? That's like, nah, bro. Like they could have got him there. If I'm Tony, I'm asking Killmonger, you had all this and you ain't say shit to me.
I don't think he cared at that point. I think he cared out about honestly. But how did you feel about? Let's move forward. How did you feel about at that point him naming Killmonger the head of his security, taking over Happy's job and stuff like that, and I guess CEO eventually as well.
That's for Ant or me? Me?
For you. Yeah, you.
Rushed. Immediately rushed. Again, that's where I was going. I said Tony's smarter than that. Tony is not that gullible to be like, oh, you know what? You saved me from a bomb. Now you all of a sudden you're the head of all security. He didn't make him head of security. He made him like a operations president or some crap. Some shit that the role didn't even fill. Even Pepper was like, he's not qualified anywhere for that. Oh, but he's a killer, and I need killers, bro. Come on. You need a killer in an office role? Come on, bro. No. You need a killer in your security department. Yes. An office role? No. Regardless, at that point, like I said, the episode started to go off the rails a little bit there. It felt like I understand what they were trying to do, though. They had to pack a 2-hour story into a 30-minute thing, so obviously some shit had to be forced, but
you got the same size head as Tony. That's our guy, Josh.
And look, my man Chris is in the building too.
What's going on, Chris? I met Chris now.
What up, Chris?
I like Chris a lot. Yeah, cool guy. So, Anthony, you've been quiet. You know, I let Dave talk. What do you think about the whole first thing, the outing, like you said? Also, him naming Killmonger head of security or CEO. Like, what do you feel about that whole scene?
So, I will say this. I agree with Dave, but sometimes you have to kind of like. I mean, obviously, we're doing a spoiler discussion, so we're gonna get into it. But it is a 30-minute, for the most part, episode, right? So, you know, we said they do a good job sometimes at making you feel like you've seen a movie in 30 minutes. But, you know, some of this did feel a little like, and I think you're saying based off of the MCU characters, Tony would never do that. And I get it. I get what you're saying. So that was a little like, wow. But I think what's cool is that they made Pepper be like, what? So it's one thing to make Tony do that. And then they play on your intelligence as if to make you just feel like, wait, nobody's not going to say nothing. But because Pepper said something, that made me feel a little okay. That, you know, it's still, that's the part of the suspense of disbelief, right? That you're like, wait, what? And then Pepper kind of agreed with the audience watching, and you're like, okay, cool, at least somebody agreed. So
at least somebody shares my concern. That's what it felt like, exactly. At least someone shares my concern rather than me. So, yeah.
All right, E, can you hear us, buddy?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, perfect, man.
I'm about to get my headset.
All right, go. You going to do that now?
Yeah, you can still ask me.
What do you feel about this episode, the premise of it with the Killmonger saving Tony, and also of how he the first scene of it all?
I honestly think that was great. Killmonger did excellent as far as executing his plans. And my favorite thing he said to Tony was, the difference you can't tell, the difference between me and you is the difference between us. I thought that was deep.
We didn't get that far yet, but that was deep. I agree with that. Okay, let's go back. So after that, we see them in kind of like a montage, becoming best friends, and they create, I guess, Killmonger's his prototypes of these like iron machines,
right?
And then they kind of figure out what they need to power it up. But it was all we'll talk about that later on. But how you feel about the whole them becoming buddy, Dave, and them like making the machines together?
Again, just felt more rushed. Like, and it's like the way they had Killmonger setting it up. Like, oh, I had an opportunity for a drone once, and Tony's like, really, what was it? Oh yeah, you know what? Let's just go ahead and just build it. Like, it really went down like that. But thank God for Pepper and Rhodey and their good sense to just trust this dude. At this point, I really had lower expectations for the episode as a whole, because I'm like, now it's going in the gutter. It got saved later on throughout the episode. We'll get to that. But at that point, I'm just like, man, they're making Tony out to be an ass kisser. That's what it seemed like. Like, basically anything Killmonger wanted, he got. It's like, oh, I wanted to make a drone that has special this, special that. We're just gonna go ahead and build your dream. Like, I understand Tony's a maker and Tony wanted to like repay him and shit, but it felt like they were just trying to push Killmonger to get to that Wakanda scene, pretty much.
You know what, Dave? Before I let you go in, I want to say this. Like, I think you're like talking about the Tony you came to know over the years.
It's the only one I know. It's the only one I know.
No, it's not.
Can I jump in there real quick?
Go ahead.
Dave, you do realize it's called What If. So you do realize as you watch this, they're literally showing there's different multiverses. There's different. So that Tony you're referring to in the MCU, there's as we've been watching this, there's different. Remember, when this happens, this changes a lot, right? But also, as we're gonna get into it, we realize, oh wait, everything we watch isn't like when I started watching What If, I was like, okay, well, this is what happened if this, like, meaning a timeline. Oh, because this happened and that person is different. But no, we're finding out that we're watching different timelines, kind of like when you look at the Loki thing. So this isn't your Iron Man you're referring to. He's acting a little different because he's not the Iron Man that you know. Now, you could say that's all I know, but hold on real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. You could say that's all I know, but if I gave you you could have wrote a script. You each of us here, right, said, okay, we're gonna write a script for the four of us getting together every Sunday, right? Now you know us, real life, how we are. We did how many episodes? Mike write a script, I write a script. Now, just because I read your script and it isn't the way I want my script, but I still have to read your script as the way you wrote it out and the way your characters are. I can't be like, well, in my script, my guy didn't do this. Bro, you're reading Dave's script. Like, can you read it from Dave's point of view because he's the author? So I just want to say, I implore you to kind of watch some of these episodes and not be like, well, Tony wouldn't do this. Just be like, okay, in this realm, they're making Tony the A kisser, like you said. But just go along with Tony being an A kisser because that's what they're giving you.
Well, I did go along. I did go along with it eventually, but I don't like it. I didn't agree with it. What I'm asked is my opinions on this. My opinion on that is that I didn't like that particular part. There's other ways they could have got to that without making Tony sound dumber than what he normally is.
But they didn't, Dave. But they didn't.
Gullible.
But they didn't.
That's what it is. That's what I was looking for. Gullible.
Hold on. Let me jump in here for a second. And I get your point, Anthony. You're right. Like, these different multiverses are correct. But Dave, what I was saying was this was the Tony from Iron Man 1 before. He did not get kidnapped and have a revelation. So this was who Tony was before the kidnapping. So
did the revelation make him smarter? Did Tony before that bomb hit him in the chest? Was he gullible? Was he easily tricked like a child?
But he was a drunk, so he wasn't paying attention all the time. He was a huge, like, everything.
Now see, and what if they had showed him drinking and making these decisions drunk?
They did.
No, but you said it's the no. Hold on, wait. But you said it's the Iron Man that you know. Mike is letting you know that's the Iron Man you know. They didn't need to show that because it's the Iron Man you know, right?
That you know. That's what I'm saying. Right. He was drinking the whole episode. Am I wrong? He was drinking the whole episode.
Right. He didn't appear drunk. They didn't make it a point to make him drunk the whole episode. Drinking and drunk is two different things.
He had a glass in his hand when he got killed.
Hey, bro, we got four, Mike. We got four episodes. Just remember.
That's what Dave took. That's what they remember. Like,
your heroes are Alki.
Right.
Ben knew that. Anyway. But he was never a gullible alcoholic.
Okay. All right. So, how did you feel about the whole them being buddy montage, creating machines together, Killmonger and Tony? How'd you like that scene?
I did like that. I like the bond. I like the bond that Killmonger had. I kind of fell for it myself, for real. I thought I was like, oh, maybe he's gonna be the next Iron Man. Maybe he's gonna make him Iron Man and let him do all the dirty work while he sit back and drink.
I had that thought too. I had that thought too. Remember when he exposed Obadiah Stane? I'm like, word. Tony's gonna build him a suit. Tony's gonna build. That's what I thought. And then as soon as he had the little drone and you saw the little signature Michael B. Jordan eye dart.
Yeah,
like that.
That's what I knew.
That's what I was like. This dude's gonna be he's playing Tony, and Tony fell for that. Like, that's how I was. I was like, oh, come on. You gonna fall for that? It's like tricking a kid to eat their vegetables. Like, this broccoli's really good. And you make them want it. And Tony's like, I want it now. Like, that's how it felt.
All right, and I'm gonna get you here just on the whole buddy, them becoming real close to each other. How do you feel about that, Tony?
Me personally, I feel like what I've learned from the what ifs is they switch things up when something happened. So for me, I felt like now Killmonger's role was Rhodey's role. Right, that he was buddy with him, but in this what if now he's buddy with Killmonger? Because if we look back, him and Rhodey, that was his buddy, right? Mm-hmm. But now in this, his buddy is Killmonger. I don't know why it just can't be that simple. Just like in Captain Carter. So that's why I brought up Captain Carter, because it's the first episode of What If, and it laid the foundation for this is kind of how What If is. We're gonna take a character that you knew and loved. We're going to switch it and give somebody else that role, and then we're going to give somebody else their role. So Killmonger's was more the roadie in this. They was like buddy. But I did think he was going to be the new Iron Man. I was like, oh, that's where it's leading. Just like Carter ended up being the new Captain America. But they definitely didn't let it be that not obvious, but that primitive of like, oh, this is what's going to happen. They switched it.
His heart too cold.
Yeah. All right. So let's go to the one of the best scenes. They do build these machines, but they need more power. So they decide they need vibranium. So kind of like in Age of Ultron, they go to Claw and his facility in South Africa. And when they go there to get the vibranium, it's a double cross, triple cross, or whatever. He sends Rhodey. Then we see T'Challa come, Black Panther, to get the vibranium. And then Killmonger shows up and does what he does. We'll get into that, of course. But how you felt about that whole scene? Let's go with E. Let's go E first.
All right, so I enjoyed that scene too because it was reminiscent, especially with them at the shipyard and stuff. But again, I felt a little type of way when Black Panther showed up, and it turns out Killmonger got the drop on him. Usually, people don't get the drop on T'Challa like that. You know what I mean? It's a little hard to get the drop on T'Challa like that. So even when he was doing it to Rhodey and aiming it at T'Challa still had a vibranium suit. Why didn't he leave the mask on? So the gun that Iron Man made wouldn't tear up the veins and stuff and whatever that, I forgot what that was. Echo type of noise or something.
Was that
noise?
the device? Was that the device Stain used on Tony in Iron Man 1 where he put it
Yes.
by his ear?
Yes.
Okay. I was wondering.
All right, Dave, how you felt about that whole scene though? How it played out?
Same as E. Like once I saw Black Panther on the scene, I'm like, Killmonger about to get put up, just like in Black Panther. And it just seemed like it was just everything just happened. This whole episode, everything just happened too conveniently for Killmonger. Like literally, not one iota of his plan did not fail. Not one. Like, and that's what was annoying me is that even heroes, even their first iteration or their first attempt usually fails. Like that would have tricked me more. To be like, damn, his shit failed. Okay, and then have him find another way to get to that end. But I thought everything fell into place too easy. I thought getting rid of Rhodey, killing Rhodey, and then killing T'Challa was weird. I thought on a metaphysical level they shouldn't kill T'Challa, period, because he already died one death. But that kind of hit me a little weird. But regardless, they went on with that. And that's when the episode started picking up now, because I'm like, okay, so now he's gonna go to Wakanda. That's what I really wanted to see. Was Killmonger back in Wakanda again? Like I want to see how.
All right. Slow your roll, Dave. All right. Ed, how you felt about the whole thing? How it went forward?
Me personally, and my wife and I were watching Manifest, and I'm like, bro, this we're on season 2, and ain't nobody die yet, right? So for me, I'm kind of like the guy where it's compelling when someone dies. That's what they do on The Walking Dead, right? And that's why it's getting a little stale because they keep killing everybody. But so I don't have a problem with T'Challa dying. I just feel like, remember, we got 30 minutes. 2, Killmonger is the star of this, right? He is the star. This is his episode. So we got to make him, we can't have his plan be foiled and then he come back because, again, we only got a half an hour. But I didn't have a problem with it. I was along for the ride and seeing where, you know what, I'm taking these what ifs as I'm just seeing what they could do with it, right? And also, I'm not invested in Killmonger's character, and I'm not a big Black Panther fan either. So for me, I'm more sympathetic. Like, do what you want to do. Now, if they was messing with my favorite character, I'd probably sound just like you.
Yeah, you be out.
Yeah, that's how it goes. It doesn't affect you until it's your guy. So it was okay with me.
I'm not a big Black Panther fan either, but I did. What Josh said is true. That they recorded this before I got it, before Chadwick actually died, so they didn't realize that when they recorded it, there would be, like you said, on a metaphysical level. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like a premonition, I guess, so to speak. But the whole scene I thought was dope. Honestly, first of all, I love Claw. I was so mad they killed. You know why I don't like Black Panther? Because they killed Claw. They should never kill Claw on Black Panther.
Yeah, he was such a good character, yo.
Yeah, he's so good.
So funny. Like, he's so funny.
Yeah. He's so great. So I love seeing Claw back. I did think Rhodey was a little naive in that scene, but you know, it happened. But I thought the whole action part of it was good, and I think what Anthony saying to you, Dave, like I think the whole plan for Killmonger has to play out for what we'll see in the future episodes. So it has to kind of work out in his what if episodes. But anyway, moving forward though, but part of his plan did not work out because when Killmonger comes back to Tony to kind of have a funeral for Rhodey, he didn't know that Tony saw the whole thing with Jarvis. So Tony fooled him and knew that he was the one who killed those two. And also Tony had one of those drones ready to fight Killmonger because he was just a drunk at this point, couldn't fight himself. And of course, we see that Killmonger beats the drone and then he kills Tony. How you feel about that scene, Dave? Okay.
That's where the episode started picking back up again. I told you right after he killed Black Panther was when the episode I think got back on the rails, and I'm like, okay, now I'm reinvested in this again. I like that scene. It finally gave Tony some intelligence of that Tony intelligence that I know he has. And I like the fact that he killed Tony too. As we go on through the rest of these, you're gonna see a motif here.
Right.
But yeah, I loved it, yo. I didn't like the fact also that he just easily knew how to take down his own drone. Like you invented it to be invincible, but yet you left a glaring weakness that you could exploit in a one-on-one fight. Like it's whatever. But Killmonger. Also, Killmonger to me is one of the best villains Marvel MCU's ever produced.
I agree with that.
Period. Like that's what made that's
where we're getting off the bus.
Nah, to me, that's what made Black Panther a better movie. Was the great villain. He didn't have this carbon copy ho-hum villain. This villain,
you know what? Wait, let me stop you. I know why Tony's saying that. So his motivation was solid, but he wasn't menacing at all in the Black Panther thing. That's the problem.
What?
Yeah, he wasn't. Nah, he wasn't menacing enough.
Listen, when you mean menace, when you mean menacing, you mean like scaring the whole planet, or just scaring?
Just like nonstop attack.
Like Hela and Ragnarok, who was like everybody.
She was relentless.
Yeah. Oh, he would have. Oh, if Killmonger's plan had worked out, I think that would have been very menacing.
Okay, but
he was menacing enough. He was menacing enough to put them shots in your boy Claw.
He was, but I feel Anthony's point. Like his motivation was the best, but he wasn't Hela. Like he wasn't.
Nah, he could fight. Killmonger could fight, man.
He wasn't a lot of people.
Yeah, Killmonger could fight.
I'm pulling up the episode.
You say menacing, but in Black Panther, didn't he have over like 300 kills or something like that?
No, here on his body. He did that on his own time. What we're saying is like,
show don't tell.
Like,
oh, that's different.
Nothing. Dave, that was different. Dave, you keep beating up the premise of this whole how they got together. Like, let's be real. The damn Black Panther was a Tyler Perry Marvel movie. Come on, man. Like I don't want to get on it, but let's be real. Oh, you're my uncle and my cousin. And if somebody don't get you out of family court or something, man, they don't get the hell out of here.
It was one relation, bro.
It wasn't.
No, it wasn't. It was a brother and a nephew.
It was it was. The only thing I felt
here before we go on a tangent. Hold on, back to this episode because I know we got purpose to do. So, for this one, how'd you feel when Tony found out what Killmonger did and the whole scene with the Killmonger killing the drone and then killing Tony?
Because I like that because I was like, that's Tony right there. That's Tony. What messed me up was where was Tony's backup plan? Like you can't tell me the robot was everything. He was supposed to send that footage out. My footage would have been sent out. So even if I'd have died, you lost. Even if I was stabbed with the vibranium joint and dropped my drink, you lost because I sent the footage out. But
you know what? I agree with that. I don't know why he didn't just give it to Pepper or somebody before he died.
Before he I'd have sent that out. So that's the only thing that weirded me about Tony. Other than that, I thought Killmonger's plan was executed. It was great. It fell into play. I thought he had it. I don't want to say too much because we only on that one part. But I thought he had it.
All right, Anthony, how you feel about that part, man?
Hold on, which part are we at?
The part where Tony told him that
he got killed.
Yeah, he got killed, and he showed him he videotaped him, and he had to drone to fight him and stuff. And he got killed.
Okay, got you. Yeah, because I mean, me personally, I like. See, I want you to be diabolical, right? So for me, him killing Tony was a plus. You know, like Dave said, this when the episode picked up. And it's just more character development. I will actually want him to be more sinister. You know what I'm saying? So I'm loving because I'm like, oh wow, they actually made him kill Tony. Like, okay, that was cool. You know, that was like, whoa, they took it there. So for me, I was pretty good where this is about to go. You know?
Yeah. So Josh said, y'all tripping in terms of menacing. He took over a hidden superpower. And then what if he had an even bigger aspirations? If he had intergalactic travel, he would dominate there as well. I don't know about dominate. I think you're a little over exaggerating.
Yeah, you're still thinking of what if they were talking about menacing in the movie.
Right.
Yeah, in the
Correct.
MCU.
And it wasn't hidden. His dad told him basically where was that. Like,
right.
Like, I mean, he's from there. But
I agree with Josh. Josh, I agree with you 100%, bro.
Anyway,
You know.
I thought the scene was great. Even when you said earlier when Killmonger told him about that line, he said differently me and you. Yeah, I thought that was a wonderful line. Like you said, I don't know why Tony didn't like out him, like send it to somebody first before he like had this like drone trying to kill him and stuff like that. But I think
Hold on, you answered your question, Mike, because he's a drunk. He was drinking.
I thought it was.
That's
why. I think that Tony was too cocky and too inebriated all the time to think ahead.
When I questioned Tony's intelligence towards the beginning of the episode, I got a habit with, but it's what is, man. He was drunk. But now you question his episode, you're like, yeah, maybe it was
because you was doing a contrast. You wanted Tony to be exactly the Tony that, and I feel like you want Tony to
not
be the last
post-suit Tony, pre-suit Tony. Even pre-suit Tony was mad smart.
Okay.
How do you know that?
Because he was in the desert selling missiles that turned into missiles Like, dumb dudes don't do that.
And that means he's not a party guy?
Right. Dumb dudes don't do that. They don't bring dumb dudes to the desert.
He also let Don Cheadle take a suit. So.
He did.
Well, he ain't let him take it. He got his ass.
He might as well.
And again, that time he was drunk.
He was always drunk. But anyway, moving forward. So Killmonger then goes to Wakanda and they blame to try to same scene. He brings Claw, again from before. So he kind of put like 3-4 movies into one show, which is pretty good. And then they let him in Wakanda and he tells them that, it was CIA or whoever who killed T'Challa. And then now he's teaming with them because he's their family. And he winds up bringing his own drones, but he crosses them to kind of fight the Wakanda to show that he's down with them, stuff like that. So, so what do you think of that part, Dave? That whole part with the Wakanda part.
I didn't understand it. I thought he was doing too much at that point. He was too extra with it. You're gonna let them bring the drones in. You're controlling the drones. He had the button that controlled them, turn them on and off, right? So you're gonna turn off the drones. You could have just turned off the drones and still been the king but still been looked at as a family because you warned the Wakandans and your plan worked with the dome shutting things down. Nobody would have been hurt. The people wouldn't have been killed. Like, them drones was fucking people up. Like, they didn't show that, but them drones was killing a lot of Wakandans.
I don't think that mattered to him.
Right, but once that dome closed and it cut the thing, he could have still been the hero of Wakanda. He didn't have to turn him back on and then ride out there and go fight with him. And I understand why he was doing it later on in the episode because he was trying to get that mantle of Black Panther. And I thought that again, they made King T'Chaka just the most unwise king in history. Oh, you fought the battle, you survived. So you know what? Here's the suit. But, come on, man.
No, all right, go ahead, man. You can drop.
No. I'm done with that. I'm done. Go ahead.
Let's let E talk. How you felt about that whole scene with him going to Wakanda? The whole thing Dave talked about.
I felt Dave, like I felt like when he let the machines come in and then he turned them back on, I was like, what is this guy doing? But then I seen his plan when he had the Wakanda forever, and he kept screaming that mess. I was rolling.
He'd been in Wakanda for an hour talking about
right, but he over here Wakanda forever, right?
Come on, bro. You ain't. I've been Great Adventure longer than Wakanda.
But I respected it because it went along with his plan and it hyped the mom up. If you paid attention to the mom was like, "For T'Challa!" Like she got real big on that. So. Because he started reminding her of T'Challa, because T'Challa goes straight out there and wreck stuff. So I felt at the end his plan was a good A minus. That was a good A minus.
And go ahead, buddy. What do you think about the whole
All
process?
right, listen, man. There's a such thing called a plan and a master plan. He didn't just have a basic plan, he had a master plan. The master plan is when you're playing both sides. You ever heard of the puppet and the puppet master? He was the puppet master. He literally, think how sinister this was, right? Or he had the robots that was attacking them. Then he had the robots stop when they walked in to make them think. Like, bro, he controlled everything. All the is more than just that. He controlled the emotions by allowing the robots to come in. Oh, if the robots come in and we close the thing off, then they'll stop. So he let that happen. He secretly pressed the button, turned them off. Oh yeah, they praising them. Then they turn on. Oh snap! Now they mad emotionally. They're like, bro, I thought you said. Well, you know what? Now we gotta stop them. Wakanda forever. And then he just like it was very wise. His master plan being the puppet master to actually control their emotions, make them have the highs and lows. It would have been one thing if he just said, the robot's coming in, and then he turned off. All right, cool, bro. You did us a favor. What you want lunch or something? How, what did you need? Thanks. It's a good plan. But they come in, they turn off, then they turn on, then they attack us, then I defeat them. Like, oh man. And Dave, don't do that, Dave. He's also family, so he has a link for them. They're like, oh, it's like in the Bible, they have the son that comes home, right? Like, oh, the prodigal son. Like, oh, you was an outcast. Now you came home. Now we're gonna give you the world because you came back, right? So it was brilliant for him. I'm just not a fan of his character, but I thought for the what if, he was a smart plan. He pulled it off, and he literally laid it out to like Matt said, he had to start a war. So it was perfect. He controlled both sides. He's starting the war, but he's fighting the war, but he's really the one. The master plan, man. It's puppet master.
I can't say he controlled both sides because when you don't got Shuri, you really ain't got shit.
I mean, he was on the side that was fighting the side that he was literally controlling.
But he still ain't have Shuri with the plan, and that's what killed him at the end. Like that's what. As you seen what transpired on his world.
Okay. All right. Well, I thought the cool part in what if terms, because I'm looking at this episode, but also like what they're doing. Like, remember this takes place 2008, so they had like a kid Shuri rather than like an adult Shuri. So I thought that was dope. They showed the mom still with the Dora Milaje at that time. Where by the time we see her in 2018, she already retired from that. So I thought that was pretty cool how they did that in terms of that whole visually. I thought the plan, it worked out. You know what I mean? Like, I thought that the Wakanda Forever, I thought that because he is Wakandan, deep down. So I thought that made sense. And then I thought his plan was executed. But like E said, it's always one person. And on Tony's side, it was Pepper. And on this side, it was Shuri, who wasn't sure about him. And then, and to segue, we see at the end of the show, Shuri somehow winds up in Pepper's office in America. And lets her know that she doesn't feel good about look at Dave's face about Killmonger. About Killmonger, and they gotta come with a plan to get rid of him. What do you feel about the last scene, Dave?
All that Stark security over there. All that Stark security. She made it to the motherfucking CEO's office without nobody noticing. Again, I just thought that was an unnecessary scene. They could have just they could have made that a phone call straight up or a conference call on the screen. Like, come on. But either way, I ain't gonna stress over that too much. I'm glad Shuri.
I was about to say who has better tech.
Right.
Shuri.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So. But
she might get it. She might be in my damn house right now.
Right. Remember, Shuri makes a lot of that tech.
Yeah, but regardless, she just walks in there on Pepper. I personally think there's a lot of other people in the world she probably could have walked in on to help her other than Pepper Potts. But because remember in Iron Man 1, Pepper Potts is really nothing more than just a glorified secretary. Let's just call a spade here. All right. So you're gonna go talk to Tony's secretary and shit and see if she can help you take over the world.
I'm pretty sure she ran the company on, but but nobody knew about it.
But yeah, she don't have the knowledge of the tech or anything like that. Like,
not the tech, no, but the company part.
So what's she gonna do? I'm gonna sign off on this business expenditure for you, Shuri. Like, Like, what are you gonna do? Like, you went to the wrong person. You didn't go to a hero. If Shuri really wanted to like go after Killmonger, don't you think Shield would have been a proper contact? Like Nick Fury maybe could have helped you out a little bit more. Than
real
Pepper,
quick, I want to start an argument, but real quick, if Shuri realized that he controlled the drones, which were Tony's tech, shouldn't she go back to Tony's office or whoever there to find out how he got this tech?
Does she even need Pepper if her technology is so good? She gets to the COO's office. Don't you think she gets to Tony's lab too?
Yeah, she still needs Pepper because they weren't sharing with the borders.
Because she doesn't want to write the checks. That's what.
No, hear me out, Dave. She want an ally, not an enemy. If she just steal their tech, now she is an enemy, right? She want an ally. So go there.
If she steals the tech, they don't know who steals it. They don't know who's stealing it.
E, hold on. E, let me move forward. E, how you felt about that last scene, bro? I love it. E,
I thought the last scene was good because, like I said, you never sleep on Shuri. Right. And a lot of villains, they always do that. They always do that thing of sleeping and not knowing, and that's what be their downfall. Every time. Unless it's brute force. Other than that, that usually be their downfall.
Not for nothing, but all the times I seen Shuri on camera, she be getting her ass beat by everybody. Corvus Glade fucked up. Killmonger fucked up. Like,
Anthony,
look at her ass beat.
She ain't had no suit, bro. She's smart. They didn't say she was the best fighter in Wakanda. They said she's
she had the gloves. Smartest. She had them gloves, like the power gloves. But I'm just saying, like Shuri, I don't know. Shuri just it's one of the observations I made over my time watching it.
If you like Tony, you
started off by making her the high.
I haven't seen her win a fight yet.
Go ahead, Ant. What do you think about the last?
All right, anyways, so yeah, I mean, me personally, I'm going in the whole suspense of disbelief of her being in the office. Pepper walks in, she spins around in a chair, but she slides the thing over so Pepper could take a look at it, and it pretty much goes off. I'm cool with that.
All right, cool.
What I am cool with is it pretty much end with him still on top. So that's one thing. It doesn't it ends, that episode end, and as far as you know, when the episode ends, it's like, wow, the bad guy won.
Okay.
Which doesn't happen at all. So
and I'm gonna just concur with Ant so we can move on. All right, next episode was Party Thor, right? So it's what's it called? I forget what it's called. I'll find out.
What if Thor was the only child?
The only,
Right. What if Thor was the only child? Which we meet Party Thor. This one won't be long because it wasn't a lot really crazy happening this episode.
Yeah.
But Dave, what do you feel about the premise of the episode? Let's start with that.
I thought it was whack. I thought the premise was whack. It would have been better. I understand why they were going with that, and I don't think that made Thor an only child. I think it did, but it was just a weird premise for me. I'm like, I didn't know where they were going to go with it. Put it like that. I didn't know how they were going to go with it. They could have just said, "What if Thor never became a hero?" And that would have been just the same. And they could have still had the same story.
Are you upset with the title?
I was upset with the title. It was very.
You just wake up and get mad at everything.
Yeah, some days I be like that, man.
Something else.
Some days I be like that, man. Some days I be like that.
Well, I see you trying to get that coffee in, man. Just sip that coffee, man.
Oh, nah, this is Crystal Light, bro.
Okay, well, sip that Crystal Light.
I don't drink coffee.
Oh, yeah, I don't either.
Surprisingly. Yeah, but but I thought the premise was misleading. But other than that, the way it started and the whole story of leaving Loki there, I always wondered that even before this episode came along. I was like, damn, if Odin would have just left him, would we be looking at a 50-foot tall Loki? And it answered my question. It really answered my question because I'm like,
I want to know, like, did Odin did kidnap a child? Was he wrong in the long run and stuff like that?
Well, no. Remember, in the first Thor, they explained that he saw him there after the battle. They just saw the baby laying there by itself, like it was abandoned. So he took it under his care.
Yeah, so
here's what
to try to make Odin the good guy.
I want to ask my wife's question. We was watching it, and my wife was like, so why the hell he ain't never turned that big? I was like, I don't really know. She was like, did somebody else raising him make him not grow to what he's supposed to be? I was like, I don't know. He's still a frost giant. So
yeah, he didn't live in that realm though. And if you remember, when one of the frost giants touched him, and he turned blue.
Yeah.
So why he ain't giant? Why he's not giant?
Because he's warm. Asgardian and a frost giant is the same thing. It's just that an Asgardian is a frost giant that traveled to warmer climates.
I think he's right about that. I think it's where he lives at. Honestly,
Yep.
not who he's raised by, but where
But
he's raised at.
where he was stationed at? Yeah.
So
Where
if
he
he go
lived
to
at.
Antarctica, he'll just grow and get real big. I'm just
so.
maybe I'm being Dave right now, but no.
I don't even have to do anything. I don't have to do anything right now.
Hey, Dave, I got you. Hey, Dave, tag me in, man. No, I was no, because she asked me, and I was like, "Damn, that's a good question." She was like, "Yeah, how come that's not the Loki we see?" I was like, and I couldn't think I have a good answer because I was like, "Wait, yeah, that's like if a sheep was raised with wolves, it'd still be a sheep, right? It might have wolf mentality, trying to bite things like wolves, but it still would be a sheep."
Right.
Smart lady.
They're not
Smart
raised
lady.
in the same place.
Right, you just answered it yourself. If a sheep was raised by wolves, he wasn't raised by wolves this time. He was raised by what he is, frost giant. So he got big.
No. I'm saying I'm going the flip side in the MCU. I'm
Yeah,
going
the
to the
flip side
MCU.
Yeah,
I'm
the
like,
flip
wait.
side is him being Asgardian. That's the flip side.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, all right, hear me out. If there was a black baby got
Right.
adopted by a white family, that black baby ain't gonna turn white. That's all I'm saying. Right? The black baby's still gonna grow up to be a black kid, black adult.
We're
Right,
talking about aliens, though. That's a whole different thing.
But he said the realm.
That.
He said they took Loki out of his realm of Jotunheim.
Out of his realm.
So if he was in Jotunheim, he would have grew. But now he's out of Jotunheim, he's not going to grow. But when Loki went back to Jotunheim, he didn't grow. So that kind of blows that theory to shit.
No, it doesn't. Because
it doesn't. The reason it don't blow the theory is because the frost giant grabbed him when he was in Jotunheim.
But his arm didn't grow. He just turned blue. He would have just
turned blue.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they messed that one up, to be honest. I feel like we never got
I feel like it takes years to grow. You got to beat it for years to grow. And he was never there for years.
Right.
That's what I feel like.
Well, guess what? He was
there. Maybe one day Laufey will explain to us.
Yeah. Well, with that, Dave?
One day Laufey will explain to us exactly how that shit works.
Laufey, right? Yeah, I guess.
All right, so let's move on.
Yeah, we're already moving on. So where we at? Oh, you. How you like the premise of it anyway? So
yeah, I thought it was cool. Again, I go into these what ifs just seeing what they could do, right? At first. I'm like, okay, the premise is if he was the only son, so there was no Loki. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Again, you gotta remember, I'm not with the silly stuff, bro. So this was the silliest episode. Him being now, granted, after Ragnarok, Thor is like the silly character, right? So I gotta be fair because it's based off the MCU. But for me, it was like, damn, yo, he just want to throw a party on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was in Midgard because he threw a party in all the other places and he tore them up. So Midgard was a backwater planet that nobody on Asgard was watching.
Yeah,
so
we ain't shit to them.
Okay, so moving forward, so with the episode, we're gonna go at this real quick. This episode, so I love the callbacks myself of the stuff from Thor 1, Darcy, and and Jane and stuff like that. I do like that. I even like the whole Shield stuff that they had on there. The party in Vegas, I'm with Ant. I thought it was just like there was a lot of silliness, to me.
That was for the kids, I figured. But
I did like all the spatial callbacks that they had on there. All the different characters. Korg. They had the
they had everybody. Dude,
everybody.
From the Star Planet, everybody.
Yeah, everybody. I love that part.
Yeah, that was really cool.
But let's get to the meat of it real quick. So when he was going crazy, they were partying, it would mess up the whole planet. And then we see that Maria Hill, she used the pager and to call Captain Marvel.
Let me in, man. So this was cool for me. I don't know why I'm such a Captain Bro. When the Captain Marvel in the movies, I was on a high. You know what it is? I like powers, right? I like power levels. So when Captain Marvel, when I was younger, she wasn't popular. So when the movie was coming out, everybody's putting up these things like, even my boy Matt that's in the chat, like he's my super comic book guy, right? He was like, no, bro, she's pretty powerful. So I remember even you, me, and Josh, we had a thing we put in our chat that showed she once upon a time beat the Phoenix. She went toe-to-toe with the Phoenix. She beat this person. So her accolades was a list like this, right? So ever since the movie, I was like, bro, she is a beast. Then we got Endgame when she came down. I was like, yo. So when I was like, wow, Thor is super powerful. Like, what they gonna do? And when they pulled out the thing, I paused it and said to my wife, I said, you do know what that is, right? She's like, what? I was like, do you remember? And Captain Marvel, like, what? I was like, the pager. She was like, oh. And then I unpaused. I was like, yo. And honestly, they gave me what I wanted. They gave me what I wanted. Like, to see them go at it. That was
all right. Well, we'll get to that. Dave, how you felt about them calling Captain Marvel to come to like that to help out?
First off, before I get into that, y'all telling me you guys didn't laugh throughout this episode at some of the shit they was doing on Earth?
Yeah, I did.
This is the funniest what if that I've seen out of all of them.
Period.
This was comically the most entertaining one.
I agree.
All right. So that being said, because it made it sound like y'all were like, yeah, it was just stupid, silly, just the shit they were doing was fucking hilarious. I'm sorry, it was.
Yeah, but honestly, Dave,
it's not much to review though. It's just like
not much to review.
And I want to say this. Mike knows. I said one of the best things and the worst things about Thor Ragnarok is the comedy makes it really great, but the comedy also brings it down. So it's such a touching. I'm like, man, when I went to movie see Thor Ragnarok, like from beginning to end, I was entertained. But I left like, man, you got Thor and Hope teaming up. It could have been so much better if it was more serious, but that made the movie great. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I
wanted to make sure that was going in there in the beginning of this. That being said, I did like the fact that they brought the pager back out. I did like the fact that they brought the pager out. My girl immediately knew what it was. She wouldn't even watch the what it is, but she was watching it at that time. She knew what it was. I didn't think that Captain Marvel. First off, I don't remember anywhere where Captain Marvel went toe to toe with the Phoenix. No, no. Phoenix wiped the ass.
Google it. How about you Google it?
I have to Google that later. I might have missed that one.
You missed that one because she turned all red.
That being said, to bring Captain Marvel down to fight Thor, it's something I always wanted to see. But I think in the end, we know who will win that shit. Thor. Come on, those are God.
Captain Marvel, bro.
Yeah, Captain Marvel, bro.
Captain Marvel is not invincible.
Captain Marvel's power level,
damn near.
Yeah, it's higher than Thor's, bro. Even Feige already been said that, which came out.
You got to first of all.
He said
her power.
Kevin Feige will say anyone's powerful, bro.
Hold on.
Let's say anyone's
powerful.
Getting people's asses in that seat, yo. Like,
but let's do this.
Like that. So, you know what? Thanos didn't get the message. Thanos didn't get the message from Feige when he punched the ass in the face with that Power Stone. He must have not got the memo.
He did get
that was a Power Stone, bro.
He headbutted her and she ain't moved.
Bro,
he got the message.
Bro, he was dragging Thor around his own shit. It was
right. He was whooping Thor ass. He was whooping Thor ass through the whole site until Cap picked up the hammer. Thor needed help.
Thank you. Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Right.
Well, yeah, I ain't gonna say Thor could beat that. Nobody was beating Thanos right there, but anyway,
she was.
Anyway,
here you go, Dave.
right. Bro, y'all really also Captain Marvel like she all that, like, bro.
She is. Hold on. I got something for you, real quick, Dave. Keep on talking. I'm about to show you something real quick.
Yep, cause she all that. I ain't even gonna.
So anyway,
she the reason Rogue. She the reason Rogue became all that. You forgot?
Hold on, look at these. Look at the money real quick. Follow the money trail.
Actually, Rogue, yeah.
Hold on, do me a favor, Dave. Look at the money, right? We did this thing they was posting, right? Mike and Josh and them, right? So look at the money is the higher characters. Why is Thor $30 and Captain Marvel is $50? I'm just saying.
Because the person who made this obviously don't know who the fuck
the consensus is she's more powerful. No, the consensus, and this is two different people. The consensus is she is more powerful.
I doubt that one meme was made by a consensus of people.
Bro,
I will argue that. That was made by one person with Photoshop who was like, let me put some shit on.
I know, but that person was like, oh, when you think of power level, hey, listen, I ain't make it up. Don't get mad at me.
Right, Dave.
We don't know who made that meme. That's the bottom line. I can show you it wasn't anybody at Marvel Comics. I can show you it's not anybody at Marvel Comics though. But bringing her in was like the only logical choice.
my boy, my boy Ray. Hey, let's shout out some of the new people in the chat. We got Stadia Pro jumped in. My guy, Skitterpetch is in here. Rated Game and Cyborg's in here. So thanks for you guys jumping in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Get a little crazy.
And you got Matt. He jumped in too earlier.
Yeah.
But let me finish my thought. Let me finish my thought, man. Bringing her in was our only obvious choice. Like at that time, we wouldn't have anybody else that would be able to go toe to toe with Thor.
Right.
Yeah. So,
all right.
So I was kind of shook to see that fight, but
Yeah.
just know in real life he'll wax that ass.
No, he won't. You do know, like real quick, you do know, like she got levels of power. Like when she shows regular power,
of course,
she go like another level. Actually,
Just like when his hammer couldn't do nothing to her, that really happens. Like,
Stormbreaker is different, bro.
Nah, it don't matter what.
Man, if you would have called that, if you would have called Stormbreaker 2 inches to the right,
bro, she manipulates energy.
Don't catch the Marvel movie.
she manipulates energy. She will do the same thing.
What's that you talking about? How you feel about her coming in the whole fight, bro?
Man, it happened. They were being extra nice. You get what I'm saying? They was being extra nice for Thor because Thor was supposed to be getting that ass whooped that whole fight. So they was being extra nice, letting him get them couple hits off with the hammer and all that. Like the only thing he did that would make sense is leave the hammer on top of her.
Yeah.
Other than that,
who would win? Hella?
Who
would win? Hella or Captain Marvel?
Captain
Marvel.
Hella versus Hella.
Captain Marvel, yes. You keep forgetting. None of them can use their energy or their magic on her.
So a chick powered by the space stone is more stronger than the goddess of death.
Yes.
She's still just Asgardian, bro. And talk about the fight itself, bro. How you like the
All right, thank you, man. Thank you. Let me jump in here. So you know what's crazy? As you guys are talking, I was like, you know what? I got it playing. So now I'm like, you know what? Let me pull up Disney. So it's playing as you guys are as we're talking. Man, listen. What's cool is they just let it run, right? Because sometimes you feel like, okay, the fight was too quick. Sometimes you feel like it was dragged out. But because they're so powerful together, they let them fight, bro. They was knocking each other from continents to continent. I thought that was really cool to draw that. Like, boom, somebody fly to another continent. That was really cool. And again, I always said it's about comic books, right? Now, Dave, maybe we'll give Thor a little more credit if he wasn't Thor from Ragnarok. Remember, we got to go by personalities. It's like people always want Superman to just kill people. That's not in his character, right? So this Thor put the hammer on her and took it off, right? Because he's the silly guy from Ragnarok, right? So, but he still wouldn't beat her. But the action, spot on. It showed they was like mega powerful. Like you watch this and be like, man, they would just destroy some other characters. So I was very pleased with the fight itself.
Okay. All right. Me too, man. I thought the hand-to-hand combat they showed was dope. I thought the drawing, like you said, the animation was excellent. Yeah, I thought, like you said, like starting in Vegas and going from continent to continent and seeing stuff get like what was that, Stonehenge and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And other stuff. I thought that was pretty cool.
Matter of fact, that fool knocked it over, actually. Yeah.
And then let me say something as I'm watching it. Bro, I'm watching where he takes the hammer and just shooting her with electricity, and she just standing there. Then he gets super hard, and she just standing there, and she just jumped out of it. And
Electro from Spider-Man could have taken electricity too. Ain't no big thing.
No, his electricity. He's the god of thunder. So the god of thunder is shooting you with thunder, and she just standing there. She went like this.
Unlimited thunder.
You know what you guys are forgetting?
He was
like,
guys
are on this Captain Marvel. You guys are on this Captain Marvel wagon riding hard.
Bro,
right?
She's official, man.
Bro,
she's a
look at all the shit she did to Thor throughout that episode. You see a scratch on him? She didn't beat him.
Oh my God. Okay.
She did not beat him this episode. He was on his feet at the end of the episode.
Did she have a scratch?
He the one who scared. No, she ain't had no scratch, but he ain't had no scratch either. So he the one who scared all the motherfucking people in the cleaning. Like it was about to dip. They were about to dip.
No, it was his mom. It was his mom.
It was him.
He Dave, there you go. Message for you, Dave. Message for you.
I'm gonna try. It don't never stop me from trying. But I heard "can't" all my life, yo. I don't believe in that word. I'm gonna keep trying. I don't do shit.
Even if he was talking as a comic book fan, even in the comic books, Thor wasn't messing with her.
I'm on your side, but you're out. I don't know when did Thor
Oh no, bro! I don't know. You know what? I have to petition Marvel Comics to like, make it Captain Marvel versus Thor.
All right,
True
well,
fight.
I'm gonna move forward to the end of the show, which after the fight, I feel like this is like a low for me. But the way they kind of stopped Party Thor was you see Jane go find what's her name?
That was stupid. That was stupid.
His mother, Frigga. Go find Frigga, and his mommy comes to stop the whole party and stuff like
Mommy,
that.
right?
Yeah,
Mommy came.
I did like what's his name from Sakar? We're taking the school.
Grandmaster.
Yeah.
Grandmaster. Yeah.
we're taking the school. That shit be cracking up.
Yeah. We're taking the school.
But besides, how you like the whole ending, Dave? Let's talk about that real quick.
Huh? Again, it ended bad. It ended poorly, like you said. Once Jane started getting involved, going to get the mommy, I'm like, oh man, like they ended this in the worst possible way. I would have rather them let Thor see the error of his ways and see like people hurt and getting fucked up, and then realize.
I like that they ended it with Ultron. I just wish they would have.
Yeah, I was about to
Captain
say
Marvel
we left it out.
Well, you were talking about that ending because I thought we were just in a.
We hadn't gotten there yet, but yeah,
yeah. Also, the funniest thing to me was when Loki and the Frost Giants was about to use the St. Louis Arch as the world's biggest slingshot. I was dying, bro. When I saw it, that was my funniest part of this whole episode. He was like, "We're about to go make the world's biggest slingshot." World's biggest slingshot.
Seeing Thor get punched in the dirt.
Well, since you brought it up, the Ultron part, we see the Watcher talking about a happy ending. This is and you see Ultron. You see Ultron with the stones already. As Vision Ultron too already with the stones. Yeah. So how you felt about that part?
Oh, I loved it. I couldn't wait. I was like, now we getting into the craziness. Now we getting into the big fight, the big bad. I couldn't wait for that. I just wished they would have took Captain Marvel too.
All right, Ant, the whole ending.
Right? So I'm just seeing it. I think it's really cool that So as far as this show been going, right? This is episode 7, right. And we're feeling like the Watcher, as we've been told, he knows everything. Mm-hmm. So right. It's more meaningful when he says a happy ending, and he says, "Wait, what?"
Right.
Like he's caught off guard because it's something he didn't know. That was probably the biggest thing in the whole episode. One, the episode was trash. Other than Thor fighting her, to me the episode was the feel good. The episode was trash, but that happening with the Watcher saying, "Wait, what?" That meant so much. And then you see Ultron walks through, and I'm looking like, "Wait, what? What is going on with him? Why he looks a little different? Like he got a face or something underneath that." So that was pretty cool the way it ended with Ultron coming in.
Oh, we're about to get to that.
Being shot.
We're about to get to that. All right.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
We'll get to that. All right. So I thought the ending was cool. We'll set up the next episode, which we're about to do right now, which is the help me out, guys. What's it called? What if Ultron won?
The next one?
What if Ultron won? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So what if it can't be called that? Is it really?
It is.
Yeah, that's
what
it's called.
What if Ultron won? Yeah.
Okay. What if Ultron won? All right. So episode starts. We see Natasha actually on a motorcycle running away from some of the Ultrons. What do they call it? The Sentries. And then we see Clint, who's got a metal arm somehow, and he takes out about 6 of them from the top of the roof. And we see we're right into the thick of this whole thing with them trying to defeat Ultron from whatever his master plan is. So, Dave, the premise and how it started, what do you think, bro?
Again, I didn't like it because out of all
you like nothing.
Here's why. Out of all the superpowered people, out of all the superpowered people that we've seen so far, 2 human beings are still running around alive.
Did you watch what happened?
Talk about suspension of disbelief. But the action sequence right from the rip was dope. How they did it was dope. I don't like Black Widow's penchant for just being in the right place at the right time all the time. Makes you feel like she's like Domino with the mutant luck power. But the metal arm on Hawkeye was dope. I like that. It started off very action packed. But
All right.
but yeah, if Ultron took over the whole world, I don't know why he'd have struggled with two human beings. One who has an invisible cloak, like he ain't got infrared. But just
E.
Who said he had infrared?
Ultron's got to see an infrared.
I'm just saying, I didn't see it.
he's a robot, bro. He's a robot with 6 Infinity Stones. I think he can see through a cloaking device.
Well, he had none at that point, but
Right.
E. We talk about the whole premise in that first scene.
I kind of felt where Dave was coming from when I was like, damn, these are the last 2 characters. These are the only characters. But when it showed what happened, I understood and respected it because I was like, oh, okay, so this had to take place for this to happen like that. That's why they are, the last 2. But you know what bothers me though? Why is Clint the one missing the arm? Like Clint, to me, Clint is better than her.
Yeah.
He's better than her. I feel he's better than Black Widow. So I don't see why if he's missing an arm, she should be missing 2 legs or a leg or something. But I get it.
And
well, first I want to read this because Ray said, "Dave, eat a Snicker." I
can't, man. I'm diabetic.
But I say this. I'm with you guys. So it starts off right. So up until the last episode, at the end, the what ifs pretty much has been individual episodes, right? They up until then they really don't tie in at all. So they leave you with a cliffhanger of the watcher realizing something's happened that he didn't know. So when I'm like, wait, so they can't do that, and then you figure a new episode start and it has nothing to do with the last. So now I'm like, okay, something's up. Because one, you see them two, they getting chased by the Ultrons, right? Or the Sentries. So then I'm like, oh, this completely ties in because you're seeing Ultron and Sentries. So when you see Clint's arm get shot off, first I didn't realize that a robot arm till that happened. I was like, oh damn, what? How does he got a robot arm? So that messed me up. But what I will say is this. So people with superhero powers, they're more likely to go out and try to fight head on. Right, and people who are human, they're going to run and hide because they're not powerful. So if you got somebody more powerful than a superhero, the superhero is going to go out and try to fight them and ultimately probably get killed. They're not going to run and hide in for the most part. So I think that's the reason why, Dave, is they're the last ones left.
They was cowards.
You call it that if you want. Yeah, say survivors, actually, Dave. You know how they say you run and hide to tell the story? So,
right,
survivors.
They were
that's how I felt.
They were Anne Frank. They were sitting up.
Hiding. Oh shit! Yeah, Cap just got it, yo. Oh shit! Hulk just got his head taken off. I'm staying here. Fuck this. Like,
well, I will say this though. Hold on, I will agree with y'all. I don't know if you guys didn't really say this. It wasn't my problem with them the last 2. Whatever. So what if you do whatever? My problem was, bro, they done took down like 8 armies of these by themselves. How many arrows do he have? Like, come on, this was
as many as he needs.
They was tearing them up like nothing. I was like, damn, like were they like? So I felt like, okay, them 2 probably wasn't gonna take down that many. But that's where I was just like, all right, this is a bit much.
But you know what I do like? He did reuse some of his arrows. He did grab them.
Yeah, he grabs them, takes them back. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, his arrows in this what if were the best arrows ever. They do everything. Like the arrows were ridiculous or whatever. I mean, he got crazy arrows already, but
you know what's cool though?
Arrows were crazy.
So you know what's cool? When I was watching this, I got a little excited because bro, that's how his arrows are in the game. In the game, he got to do the one arrow that I was like, oh, this is official. Maybe the source material extends into the game.
Arrows.
Yeah,
arrows, the bomb arrow,
yeah. I was like, oh, he's doing stuff that he do in the game. Okay,
and I know he got the frozen arrow. He got a bunch of stuff on there, or whatever. Yeah. But yeah. So we do see them. Them 2 are the last 2. They do tell the story that basically he did get Vision that downloaded, which he didn't in the Age of Ultron movie, and that made him more powerful than all of them at that point. So it was really Ultron Vision, not just Ultron. So we do see those 2 left, and then they're trying to figure out a way to get rid of him, and they decide to go to an old, I guess, Russian like a warehouse, the KGB files.
KGB headquarters.
KGB
Yeah.
files.
Yeah, all the headquarters stuff like that. But we see the Watcher peeking in, but he can't help or say nothing and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that at that time. So we get them, and they finally find the file. Because that's not a lot going on. But then they gotta go download this file, or no, they gotta go see what's his name.
Zola.
Zola.
Yeah, Zola. So they go find another copy of Zola, same one that we seen in the Winter Soldier.
Right.
Zola, and they download him. So how you feel about that whole part, brother? I'll stop there, Dave.
I didn't expect to see Zola back, much less in a hero capacity. Being the fact that he's Hydra, I don't even know what made them think that they could trust him. But whatever, it's what if. So we're suspending disbelief here.
Last resort, Dave. It's last resort.
Yeah, last resort. Yeah. Because he's more likely just to kill him and try to figure out a way to take over Ultron himself. Like, but whatever. I like the fact that I didn't like the fact that the Watcher was there. Like, you're almost missing it. You're almost missing it. Like at that time, I think he should have made contact. But we'll save that for the next episode. But yeah, I kind of like the fact that they found their way all the way to the Blanca building, and we're using paper and old school ways of trying to figure out its way. I just thought the size of that warehouse alone was like, come on. The chances of you finding anything by the time you turn 70 is like, but they did. So,
how you felt about that whole part leading up to the when he finds Zola?
Honestly, when he showed the Arlen Zola name, I was like, oh, okay. I got pissed off more of how Hawkeye was talking about he don't got no more hope.
Yeah.
He don't have no more hope to live and all that stuff. That's not his attitude, man.
Well, he lost his whole family, so don't forget at that point.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I don't. All right, I'll wait till I go.
Go ahead.
No, it's all right. Go ahead. You go.
Here's what's crazy, man. I'm glad I'm watching this. Maybe I might do this more often, bro. We don't skip when they're explaining how this all happened, how Ultron get the body, how Ultron.
No, he did.
No, hold on.
Yeah,
we skipped we skipped the craziest thing that happened in the whole What If show.
Go ahead.
Bro, Ultron zaps and split Thanos in half. We got to talk about that. Like,
I thought that was after for some reason. Okay, my fault.
No, yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah.
Right.
So they're showing like the world in chaos. They're showing him get the body. He actually gets the body, turns into Ultron, Mega Ultron, whatever you want to call it.
Ultron Prime.
Vision.
Ultron Prime.
Yeah.
They're tearing up the whole world. And Thanos ship
Tony
lands.
said you don't gotta do this or whatever.
Yeah. Thanos ship lands. Okay. So I got it. So he dropped the nuclear bombs before they found the warehouse. I got it. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because the world was left in ruins. Yeah. So it shows all the heroes are dead. So that he does that big blast that just literally just destroys and turns off the electricity on everything. So that, man, so here's my cool thing. Oh, and he make all the bombs come out. So the cool thing is, this is what I'm talking about. This isn't what Killmonger is, right? This is what we're talking about when we say Sinister, when we, so this is a villain's villain, right? And then you make him kill Thanos like that. Wow. So anyway, this set up the tone. It probably did, but oh well. Because this for me, I'm like, bro, he's now he is that godlike villain. But anyways, so they set up the bombs and everything, the world's all destroyed. I'm in with all of that because I'm like, dude, you made him like super powerful. And remember, what made him super powerful is because Thanos came through. And when he killed Thanos, then he takes it. Because remember, he wasn't going to be this powerful. He was just going to be in Vision's body until Thanos come through and then he get the Infinity Stones.
That's how I felt. That's exactly how
No, that's what happens. Yeah, because I'm watching it right now. So he was just literally Vision, and it was no extra anything. And then he like smashed, like he used his beams to smash off all the rings, and then sucked the rings into him. Then he just literally morphed into this new thing. It's crazy. He didn't like go get a body or anything. He just like materialized into.
Well, he had the reality stone at that point.
So he was already doubled vibranium, so he was good.
Right.
Yeah, but he was still in Vision's body.
Right.
And
right.
Ultron.
But he had one stone already at that point as well.
Yeah, he had the Mind Stone in his head.
Yeah.
But this is my whole key. How the hell does the Mind Stone split Thanos in half with Thanos with the other stones?
He didn't get a chance to do anything.
Right.
Yeah, my favorite word, MacGuffin. They needed it to happen.
Hold up.
They needed something.
Here's what's cool. This is so I'm gonna say this. This is the difference between when I say you watch a comic books and you take like, oh, Superman could beat that person. Superman could beat Batman. Yeah, he could if he wasn't a punk. Well, this was a villain's villain. He didn't even give him Thanos a chance to speak. Thanos came through. He looked. Zoop.
But Ant, let me ask you a question.
We ain't doing all that.
Ant,
big dude come through. We ain't doing all that.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think this episode could have
benefited?
benefited? You think this episode could have benefited from a longer Thanos versus Vision fight for him to get them stones?
Yes.
Well,
right.
That would have been cool. But here's what I think: if you ever watch wrestling, you kind of don't want them to ever show too much of somebody's weakness. So what happens is the guy who's not supposed to be able to be beat, he get a roll up. You hold it tight, something cheesy, right? Because you don't. So for me, this was an easy. So now we'll go. If they ever showed it, like you have a problem with the Captain Marvel and Thor, right? So if they would have showed it, we would have forever been like, no, Thor could beat him. No,
a shorter fight where Vision outsmarts Thanos. Because yes, Thanos is smart, but he's not a genius level. The Vision fucking genius, Ultron's genius level. So I could have did with a 5-minute little scuffle back and forth.
But why he got outsmart him though? But why he got outsmart? I didn't want to show the Vision
because that's the only. Because a man with 5 Infinity Stones in the gauntlet.
That's my point. Because you'll never get over it. Think about it. You will hate this episode more. I know what you want, but if we watch him beat him with 5 stones, like it's easier for me to say he walked out, didn't let him speak, zapped him in half, cool. But it'll be harder for me to be like they had a full fight and then he beat him and he got 5 stones. It's hard to write that in the story. Come on, man. That won't be believable. Now I
would have believed it if he would have cut off his arm and got the stones.
Like something. Have Thanos put up a fight
down the middle. He split him down the middle.
Thanos went out like a fucking sucker.
A lot of people is not going to agree with that split down the middle mess.
I was like, what? I'm like, what, bro? Come on. Especially after the zombies episode when they had Thanos with the 5 things. We're all like,
right.
Come on, bro. Really, Vision could have flown over there from Cap Lehigh and just did the same shit.
But why would he? He was busy with Wanda at the time. Like, what are you talking about? Like, okay, but anyway, But so you weren't happy with the whole Thanos getting
I wasn't happy with how fast they dispatched Thanos. No, I thought it was a disgrace, but it's whatever.
Okay. What about what else Ant talked about? How the whole world got destroyed and stuff like that.
That was formulaic. I like that. They added a little bit more context and showed like a little more scenes of Ultron's plan actually coming to fruition. Ultron, at the end of the day, even in the age of Ultron, he was just a highly efficient machine, and all he really wanted, he was really just an efficient. He was going to find the best way for the world to run.
Armor around the world.
Yeah, he was going to find the best way for the world to run, which is without pseudo humans in a way. So, damn, Ant got so fed up with me, he left. I said, I'm tired of this guy. But nah, I just didn't. It really set me wrong when they made Thanos squat like such a punk like that. Like a 3-minute fight, I would have been okay with.
It's hard. They were a 35-minute episode though, too. You got to remember that as well.
Yeah, I mean that's again. If Marvel's learned anything from this, what if the popularity of it alone, if they learned anything from it, they know they should make these episodes like an hour now.
Each one of them?
Yeah, I would watch it. Well, you wouldn't watch it?
Of course, I would.
Yeah, I would watch it. I'd watch an hour-long episode if it meant more action, more fighting. Who wants to see less? Like I don't want my Marvel to end, bro. I wish it was 3-hour episodes, but it's whatever, you know. I don't like my Marvel to end, man. I need it.
All right, when they show about how the world got destroyed, the whole backstory, how do you feel about that part? We skipped over.
See, I like that part because that showed me why those two were the last two. Because they was up in space or midway space, whatever they want to call that.
Yeah.
By the atmosphere. So I enjoyed that part because I needed to know why those two were the last two survivors.
Yeah, because that's the part you're right when he called out his wife's name because he knew that she was gonna get killed. That she was in the air. So, and the part that you didn't talk about, them in the warehouse with the KGB stuff, looking for the files, them going to see Zola. How you felt about finding Zola? How you felt about that part?
I mean, that was cool. I mean, I think hold on, I'm trying to see if that scene
and the watcher watching them and saying it's right there, and all that stuff.
I think we're still skipping something though. But so what we're skipping is them showing the fight. We skipped I'm looking at it now. We skipped him fighting Captain Marvel. And
no,
she take
No, we didn't. We still on Earth. We didn't get there yet.
Yeah. He's saying basically we skipped it because we're talking about no, you're right.
Zola. So after the bombs come and blow up everything, you show him as Vision standing there. That's saying he said about. Hold on. He said at last piece. I'm watching it, bro. He said at last piece, Thanos comes through. So that's where we were before I got off the screen, right? After Thanos come through and he kills Thanos, they don't go to them in the thing yet. They don't go to them in trying to get Zoloft or whatever. They actually go to him.
You talk about that, so we already did. Then we'll get to the next part about the Marvel.
Okay. Well, I'm talking about because I don't want to skip him. It shows him going to everywhere. Xandar.
But I was going to still ask them that, so I wasn't skipping altogether. I just didn't ask them that part yet. So I was going to come back around.
That's kind of a skip.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Since I'm in one order with them, now you're taking us out of order. So you got to follow my order, stuff like that, because now it's all over.
I feel you, but I'm just saying you skip.
But I was going to get to it, but now you see what I'm saying? If you
you're going to go past and come back.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, so I'll fill in what you skipped. Now, so it was cool showing him go to all these different worlds and literally destroying the whole planet. Like, no, Mike, I'm telling you, in continuity, that thing you want us to talk about.
Dave talk about that part first, like we always go around back to you, so you get the end of it about those planets, like we always do. So Dave didn't get to talk about it, nor E. So it's not now it's out of order. You're going out. You see what I'm saying? You're going out of order of them right now.
You're out of order.
If somebody skip, then yeah, that's fine. And then we talk about what they skipped over. I'm just saying this is what we skipped over. But because you asked me what did I think about that scene, I wanted to talk about stuff that we skipped over. That's all. Because if I didn't bring it up, we'd have just kept going. Like we didn't mention.
We would not have. It's all in my head. I'm just not in the same order you're watching it in. But I was coming back to the Xandar.
Hold on. All right, I don't want to get into this too much. But Mike, when we do the show, we literally you go from beginning to end. When do you skip something and then come back? Unless we realize we skipped something. So I just realized we skipped something. That's why we're coming back. You're making it like, no, I knew we skipped it, but no, you're actually saying we didn't skip it, but we did. Is what I'm saying.
So wait,
that's the biggest part of the episode about Captain Marvel. I was coming to it. I didn't know we skipped it, but it was going to get talked about. Is what I'm saying. No matter what.
Yeah, I'm about to ask Ant. What was first before that? Them in the ship realizing Clint realizing he's not going to see his wife again and all that, or the Captain Marvel getting blown.
Captain Marvel was first. Captain Marvel was first. Yeah, okay. It is first. Yeah, it is first. Okay. Yeah. Right. If I wasn't looking at it, I would have thought the same thing. I would have just forgot.
Because
I'm watching it right now. I paused.
Hold on, listen.
Go ahead.
Ultron was on Earth when he destroyed Earth with the bombs. At that moment, Clint said his wife's name. That was before he went to see Captain Marvel. He's right.
So listen, they show the bombs go all off and mess up Earth, our Earth. So then what they did is Ultron. He wasn't even Ultron. He was Vision. I mean, you call it Ultron, but he was in Vision's body. He said at last peace, and then Thanos comes. He kills Thanos. Yep. He turned to the super him, and then he decided, I'm going to take on the worlds. They literally start showing all the
So what he's talking about is that when the bombs go up in the air, that's when Clint says his wife's name. He's talking about that part right there.
Okay, but you were talking about when they was in the when they found Zoloft's lab and they was trying to find.
He asked you, did Marvel come first, or did Clint say his wife's name in the ship? You said
that's what Mike was talking about when you came back in. He was talking about Clint saying.
Well, I just remember I remember Mike was talking about them pulling out the things and what the Watcher was telling them. You're almost there. You're almost there. Right. I was just saying that.
We'll go with the world of the Captain Marvel. Go ahead.
Yeah. So anyways, I just thought it was cool just to show him like he was super diabolical to show him destroying worlds upon worlds. I was like, man, and they was just hitting the heavy hitters, Asgard, Scar, you know, just showing everything. What I didn't get was then why did you didn't completely destroy Earth? But I guess that's where Dave would be like, really? But so they spared Earth. They just all the bombs was good enough for Earth, but the other planets he was like disintegrating them into dust. For character development, man, that was pretty cool, man. And then he's facing Captain Marvel, and she grabs him. I mean, I don't think Thor would have been able to do this, Dave, but she takes him all the way into the Earth's core, and I don't know. I just feel like for character development, that's just epic upon epic, man. They even show him destroy Asgard. Like, dude, you just like.
But listen, if you're gonna watch it while we're doing it, I'm just ask you what's next from now on because in that case it doesn't make any sense. So
I mean, that's just the order of it. But no, because what happened was I watched.
I'm always skip because I'm going off memory. So if you do that, it's gonna throw off the whole show. I'm going off something that happened 2 weeks ago. So
yeah, I know.
While we're doing it, I got actually. What's
so that's why I pulled it up because in my head when you guys was talking about it earlier, I couldn't rember it. Like
I know, I'm from now on, I'm gonna say what's next, everything from now on because you're watching while we're doing it. That'll be better. Yeah, because you host the show, whatever. How do you want to do it? Or whatever. But anyway,
I mean, I'm your co-host, so I mean, I am kind of hosting the show.
Okay, well, what's next?
I need some popcorn, bro.
Hey, listen, you should have seen us when we used to be on Josh and them show. But no, it was just gonna help me because you were asking. We're all supposed to answer it, but I watched like 4 shows in the space of a couple of days, so in my head, like, and I can't remember everything. So sometimes, and you guys like y'all are more deep into certain character names. I know like the basic character. So when earlier you was asking something, I was like, I don't even remember that. So in my head, I was like, yo, I'm about to pull it up on my phone because I don't remember. So I want to give good info, but I just honestly didn't remember. So for me, I was just kind of like looking, but I just noticed when you was talking about them in the basement or whatever, I would have thought that too. And I was like, oh, wow, something actually happened. And I wanted to talk about Thanos because somebody earlier in the chat said, oh, how are he going to kill Thanos the way he killed Thanos? Well,
all right. So sometimes since certain things took place on Earth, certain things took place not on Earth, I want to do the Earth stuff. And then no matter what order it took place. That was what I was like going for.
Oh, well, I didn't know that because you never did that before. You never did
I
that
have
before.
done that in different episodes.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Now you know.
But Dave, how did you feel about and this is for you, Ant, from your boy. How did you feel about the destroying?
I am. I'm be like, who the hell's the Eternals?
Him destroying the world, and Captain Marvel, stuff like that. And the fight with Captain Marvel, Dave.
Oh, the fight with Captain Marvel? Yeah.
Him destroying the world.
First, I want to say I thought Captain Marvel was all powerful and shit, but nah. She can't even beat up a robot, but nah. Ultron, him taking her there. I mean, that fight that's fucked up. That Thanos with 5 Infinity Stones, get burnt like this, but a chick got blasted by an Infinity Stone could fight him tooth and nail.
I don't know how powerful she is. That's the point.
So Thanos should have just blasted energy from one of the stones and threw the rest of the gauntlet away. He would have had a better shot, is what you're saying.
Yeah, the Power Stone. That's all he had to do.
The Reality Stone. Just make him not real. Just wish him away.
You know what everybody like? They always like when Thanos talking and always got something to say. Well, guess what?
I like when Thanos was whooping ass, bro. My favorite Thanos scene was in Endgame where he was serving them up. That was my favorite.
Do you remember how he killed her? How he killed Captain Marvel?
Yeah, no. I didn't like that either. I didn't like that either. But yeah, I thought the fight was a little convoluted. Again, I don't know. I think they're doing this. When we get to the end of all these, I'm gonna say my final piece on all of them.
All right.
But let's just say that there's monetary value in making Captain Marvel look this strong right now.
She has always been that strong, but you got to read her power levels, bro. Yes, even before the movie.
And you know what's crazy?
He's also that strong, bro.
Dave surprised me because Captain Marvel, like Rogue. Rogue is strong. You remember how strong Rogue was for the X-Men?
Mm-hmm. And showed it to a fraction of her power. I know. Yeah, I know. Nah, but that's the thing. She still wasn't all that powerful. Like she wasn't the top hero in the world, even when she was at her strongest.
Dave,
was
apparently
wrong,
you don't know
I
everything. Look it up.
read almost every Avengers comic there
So
is,
how
bro.
you didn't read
Like-
the comic book when she beat the Phoenix?
Thank you. Thank you. And I
Okay,
don't know much about comic books, and I knew that.
When
That
she
again.
turned jet red.
This is what I wanted to
Jet
say
red
also,
and looked
Leslie.
like fire.
So here, Stan Lee said this a long time ago. All right, I don't want to divulge too far from the What If episodes, but Stan Lee, somebody asked Stan Lee who would win against so and so. You know what Stan Lee's
It's up to
answer
the
was?
writers.
Whoever the
It's up to
writer
the writers.
wants to win.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
So if the writer is deciding he doesn't want the Phoenix to win anymore, he's gonna find a way to make.
Dave, that doesn't really matter because history says she beat the Phoenix. So
Right.
hey.
Right.
So really,
Right.
Superman can get beat up by any old detective on the street because Batman.
He
If
did.
it
Batman.
matters with their writer, yeah, Batman.
So yeah, so Superman really ain't shit.
That's not what we said. Anyway,
That's not.
That's what the writers say. The same writers putting Captain Marvel.
but your
above
analogy is off
world-eating
because Captain Marvel is like Superman. So your analogies are off. She's that
All
powerful.
right, so what we're talking about though, we're talking about two different versions of Captain Marvel here. We're not talking about the 1960s version where they needed to have her jumpstart her own book and they needed to make her this super powerful thing. We're talking about MCU Captain Marvel. All right, is the MCU Captain Marvel? Captain Marvel.
Wait a minute, hold up. Comic book Captain Marvel is more powerful than MCU Captain Marvel. What are you talking about?
We're talking about MCU Captain Marvel, and y'all talking about because when we talk about this fight with Thor, we were talking about MCU versions, not comic book versions.
But that's what I'm saying. The comic book version is stronger than the MCU version.
But the MCU version is strongest.
But the comic book version of Thor, the comic book version of Thor, is way stronger than this version of Thor.
Just like her.
Like, you don't understand. Like, okay, when they say he's a god, he is literal god. He's not.
And when they say she has binary powers, she's literally.
But
energy.
she didn't get her. But she didn't get her
energy.
powers. She didn't get her powers from an Infinity Stone in the comics.
I'm reading right now. I'm gonna move forward, but it says that, bro, she can fly 6 times the speed of sound. Like, Thor ain't doing that. Bro.
You know who flies faster than her? Spectrum. Chick from WandaVision.
Spectrum, right? Yeah.
Don't bring nobody
moves faster than her, bro.
Don't bring nobody else up, Dave.
Is she now the strongest?
Yeah, because Spectrum is.
She's a better energy manipulator than Captain Marvel. She's one of the
strongest too. Because if you remember in the comics, Spectrum.
Boy,
hit Gamora.
who's gonna win that fight?
Hold up, but we're talking about Thor and Captain Marvel. We ain't bringing no respect.
But even if he bring them up, right, he's still making our point valid. He's bringing up Spectrum. Spectrum hit Gamora so hard. Spectrum hit Gamora so hard that Captain Marvel had to turn around and look at Spectrum like, "Yo, don't try to kill her." And that was comic book.
All right. Well, anyway, how you felt about their fight? Anyway, your fault with her and Ultron, and also the.
I was loving it. I was loving it because she was punching him through a core of a planet. Heck yeah, I was loving it. I figured they did it right because the simple fact of her trying to absorb all the Infinity Stone energy, all of the 6 stones, that would probably like tear her up a bit. I don't know if it would kill her, but I figured it would tear her up. So I feel like they did that. They landed that.
I will say, and that's the whole thing, Dave. One last thing. She's able to go binary. That's like her next level before what you already see.
The binary.
That's Warbird. That's when she was Warbird. Yeah.
Yeah, that's way more than Thor. I'm sorry to tell you, Dave. But anyway, I didn't like that he was able to beat Ego so fast. I thought Ego would have been more powerful. Ego's the whole living planet.
Man, Ego got beat by the Guardians, bro. So you got to look at it just like that.
Yeah, Ego's more powerful in the comics, I will say. Like, that was a little, to me, whatever. But anyway, where we at? And what's the next?
Well, were you okay with I shouldn't even say this, but Dave but us? Is it okay that when he beat her, he blew up the whole planet and they just never showed her again? Or do you think? Because technically, maybe she's still alive.
I'd be okay with the MCU as well. I'll be okay with that in MCU as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad they didn't show her again. I was getting tired. I was getting tired of seeing her there. Just, I'm saying they're trying to make her out. They're trying to make her out to be like this.
I feel like we haven't seen her enough.
Thing. She ain't even the leader of
Yeah, I agree with E.
What?
I feel like we haven't
seen her enough.
No, she only had a small scene in game where she came. I feel like we need more of her.
And her own movie.
Captain Marvel.
And her own movie.
Yeah, that's it. But I mean, we need more of her though. I'm saying, but anyway, and we should be where I believe, where they did get Zola, and then they're fighting then they're trying to get out of that cave, right?
No. So right where we are now is where Ultron actually realized, or actually realized there's someone else out there. This is where Ultron says, "Yeah." He turns and he's like, "Huh?
Who is that?
Who is that?
Yeah."
Who is that?
And he said, "I see you." And this is crazy to see the Watcher have that fear on his face.
Yeah,
the Watcher's like, yeah, he's like, "Wait, what?"
That's what reminded me when Peter Griffin was narrating his own life. Watching this way, shut the fuck up. Like all Watcher had to do is shut up, just shut up. That's it. But
what? Yeah. So we're over there. If we could talk about it real quick, because I think that's really important.
Go ahead.
You know, he noticed through the fabric of time, pretty much, right, that there's another being, and the Watcher realized someone sees me. But it kind of goes back to the what ends at the last episode, where he's like, "Wait, what?" Right? And so this just, you know, fills in that void of, oh wow, and then that's when that scene that you were talking about comes on, like after they notice each other. Then they show them walking in to the bookshelves and all that.
Right. Okay, so let's go past that because we already talked about that.
Okay.
But then we show, I believe, when they do finally see Zola and they got to get out, and they got all the sentries there, and the whole Hawkeye death scene. How you felt about that part, Dave?
that was dope. That was dope. They took a lot of artistic time, I could tell, with that scene. Seeing Hawkeye sacrifice himself was a little weird. I thought honestly he could have did all that, and he could have served to give her, I guess, a traveling companion. I don't know. I didn't want him to die at that point. I actually started literally liking Hawkeye in the episode. The one thing I did notice is that he used almost every arrow that he had, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he had this force field arrow beforehand that he could have used during the first battle, during these first scenes. I don't know. He
used the force arrow a couple times though, Dave. He did use it a couple before. That wasn't the first time. Remember, he put
it seemed like he was using his like B arrows on these other dudes in the beginning when he had all these A arrows just sitting there ready to go. But regardless, it was a dope scene. I was not a fan of the Zola thing. I wasn't a fan of that during the episode, but whatever. And I don't know. Yeah, it was okay. But as far as the fight and the artistic look, though, it was dope.
Me, I feel like they just wanted to get rid of the character. That was not. I didn't feel that transition smooth at all. First of all, you did the force field joint that gave you enough time to get right behind her and keep it pushing. Then you shot the arrow that blew them all up. You didn't need to jump down there. What did he need to jump down there for? He could have shot that from at the top.
Mm-hmm.
He could have climbed up to the top with her till they broke through the force field, then shot that arrow down, then blew them all up.
No,
they just wanted to kill him. They just wanted to kill him.
He should be my spokesperson. That's exactly what I was trying to say. I just couldn't get it out. That's exactly what I was saying.
I'll explain that. I'll explain why. So think about it, right? They're climbing up, and they're flying up towards them, right? He put a little thing on them to hold them down, but they're coming. When he think about if you had to get from here to here, right? The faster way is to meet in the middle, right? So if the time it took them to try to get all the way up to the top, they would have eventually flew up and caught them. Remember, they're flying and they're climbing little by little, dragging this robot, right? That got to be heavy. It's faster for him to jump down. Think about the laws of physics. It's faster for him to jump down and shoot and blow them all up. It makes sense if you think about it. The time it take you to jump and fall will be faster than you climb and slow. So it makes sense.
But they weren't.
You said he didn't have a grappling hook arrow. He didn't have a grappling hook arrow.
They weren't getting through the shield. Yeah, right. But listen, they weren't even getting through the shield. They were shooting. They just got their hands through the shield, and they were shooting through the shield with their hands. He had enough time to blow them up.
Okay. No, well, I think because the shield was already on them, so they would have had to got through the shield. Remember, he shot one of them and he shot them and made them explode each other after they was through the shield. So I don't think he could have did that when they were in the shield. You know what I'm saying? They would have had to been out of the shield. So, but to be fair though, I looked at it like this: in the MCU, Black Widow died when it was them two. So why not having a what if he die and she live. I mean,
Right.
I look at
Yeah,
it as simple.
I knew they was doing that. I definitely got that part. Yeah,
Well,
but he
next,
just too easy. Just kill
well,
himself.
next I believe we get Ultron breaking through the Watchers area, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And them having their whole epic battle through time and space, through dimensions, through multiverses. What do you thought of that, Dave? The whole thing.
That was dope. Visually stunning. I was, man, this is the point where I had stopped on every screen to look at the facets to see if I could see any additional Easter eggs. Everything was moving so fast, it was almost impossible to make out anything inside those facets. That would have been, if you're gonna stick Easter eggs, that would have been the spot to do it. Right? Like a mutant Easter egg. I was looking for a picture of X-Men, anything, Eternals, anything. Because the expectation of the show is that it was supposed to have MCU ramifications.
I think it will.
So I don't see. Well, we'll get to that. But it took me like an hour and a half to watch this episode. Between freezing each time, freezing, going. The only thing I could think of was the nod to Galactus when he took a bite out of the galaxy. That was the only thing that I could really find that was Easter eggy. Other than that, I was like, everything's moving so fast, but it was visually stunning. Watching a Watcher fight was dope. It was dope. It was a dope fight. That was a fight, and he had no Infinity Stones. Just
okay.
I don't know why Vision didn't just mind him, like like he did Thanos. But whatever.
He's the Watcher. That's why. But how you felt about that whole fight?
I love that fight, man. Especially when he headbutted him. Like, what else you gonna do with a head like that? Like that was good.
Yo, E, why are you doing me like that, man?
But no, for real. Even when he changed his outfit and it got all armored,
put on the battle armor.
The battle armor came on. I was like, woo! And he was fighting back. Remember, he was fighting to get stones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
which is a fraction unique, different from all the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that fight, and how he dipped off.
Yeah, and how you felt about it, bro?
I'm pretty much gonna say everything they said. I just want to go in detail that how cool was it just visually, like Dave was saying, but every punch made it was like
different multiverse.
Yeah,
did you see the Wakanda
really cool.
streets?
Yeah,
Wakanda streets. Cool. I was like, oh.
That was cool.
Open up them borders.
I just want to highlight that part.
And the one where Rogers was being made president too when they went
yeah.
That was funny. Yeah. Now do you realize that was the multiverse from where Loki had took over and stuff?
Yeah,
Rogers was made president.
Yeah,
like that.
Yep.
But I'm never gonna make the distinction of having a real live action Loki for president versus a cartoon version of it. It doesn't mesh well in terms of like him being from that universe. So I don't make that connection, but you're absolutely right. That's exactly how it played out in that comic.
So he talked about the Watcher did dip off at the end, got away, and we see him at the end talking to Strange, and he
Strange Supreme
and basically beg and say, "I need your help." So, and why don't you start? How you felt about that part, man?
Yeah, I thought it was cool because now these shows are connecting.
Right.
I didn't think they was ever going to connect when the What If started, right? Yeah. So it was like I paused it and it was said to my wife, like, "Oh snap!" And now, mind you, that's the super powerful, mega prime Doctor Strange.
Strange Supreme, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I'm like, "Oh snap!" And I like how smug he was. Go ahead and say it. Say it.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I like that too. And if you notice, they at the end of the show, they put feature Benedict Cumberbatch. They waited to show you that. They didn't let you know in the beginning and stuff like that. That was smart. What about you? How you felt about Doctor Strange?
I knew it was going to go back there because once Vision started serving him up. I don't know if we call him Vision or we call him Ultron.
It's Ultron.
Because it's kind of both.
He's not Vision.
Yeah, once Ultron started giving him them hands, and he had to escape, I knew that's the only place he could dip off. Because I remember from the episode, that was his like little safe universe that he was locked in. So I was like, yeah, he's going to go there. He's going to disappear there. So I knew it was headed there. Not before the episode, obviously. No, not before the episode, obviously. Like once he disappeared, he was like, "I'm out." I was like, "He's gonna go get Strange," because now you have one episode left in this whole shebang. It's about time you start putting together your Avengers,
Right.
so to speak. So so I kind of knew that's where he would dip off, being the fact that there was really nothing left in that universe that Ultron wanted to destroy. So yeah, well, it was dope though. It was dope. I like that was like the beginning of the journey right there. I thought that could have been a 2-episode thing, but whatever. Again, they had to pack it in. So
well, I mean, it kind of was. But together with the next, we'll go to that. E, how you feel about them seeing Strange at the end?
Oh, I love
Strange help on him.
Strange.
Yeah,
I love the fact that it's the original actor. I liked how he was making him realize, like, yeah, I guess breaking the rules is okay when you really need it. When you really need it, breaking the rules is okay, buddy. So yeah, I enjoyed that piece. I definitely.
It does have me looking forward to the Strange movie even more, even though I was going to see it already.
Right,
like
right.
Seeing that Doctor Strange, I would say.
Because I swear, I think Peggy Carter in that.
We'll see. Let's move on to the finale. And the finale.
Let me ask you real quick, Mike. Was that Chris Hemsworth's voice?
Hemsworth as Thor?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I was about to say, bro, it sounds just like him.
That is.
Yeah.
That's Tom Hiddleston too. That's Tom Hiddleston as Loki too in that other episode, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's only a few that's not them. Black Widow's not her. Steve Rogers not him. There's a few. Yeah. Anyway, last episode we go and we see that I think what did it start with? Peggy.
Yeah, Peggy. And
Winter Soldier. So the Reeve Winter Soldier. I love that part.
Let me say this real quick to give you some credit. I meant to say this a while ago. So we do all these movies, this and that. I always be wondering if you got something in front of you. Like, yo, how does Mike know all this, bro? My brain.
I have a photographic memory.
Yo, I got to give you credit. That's why I had to pull it up. Because sometimes I'm like, what? I'm like, how does he? So I just want to take my time off, guys. As many episodes y'all been watching, Mike isn't watching nothing. Mike isn't reading nothing. This is in his brain, and he be taking us from beginning to end. I'm like, how do you do that? It's crazy.
Even whole movies.
That's what I'm saying. Even whole movies, everything. Like I sometimes I meant to ask you, like, yo, you got like a little synopsis sheet in front of you or something?
Nah, nothing. But we see Peggy. It's a Winter Soldier kind of replay. She's talking to Natasha, and Natasha is basically like playing the same role, being her best friend like she was to Steve. We see what's her name, Grimlow, the other guy again.
Brock Rumlow,
Rumlow again, and we see her go to fight Backdrop, the Leaper, and stuff like that. So before we get into the episode, how you felt about that whole scene, Dave?
The one line. I'm sorry. Winter Soldier. I don't know if y'all know. Winter Soldier to me is like my favorite. It's
my number one MCU movie.
It's my number one. It is my number one. Right. There was a line. There was a line in that plane when he jumped out and he was like, "Is he ready to shoot?" No, not. That shit got me souped. I don't know, for that whole movie. That just said it all. I thought they could have left that in there. That being said, there's certain things that happen, like with the Marion Star. I didn't like the fact that Batrock got. I don't know. Again, they're rushing it, so it's whatever. But yeah, I liked it. It was dope. It felt like I was about to start watching Winter Soldier again. It was fire, So yeah, I loved it.
E?
Oh yeah, I loved it. Just like he said, Winter Soldier again. I love that her suit was the same as Cap's, but it was just the Union Jack on the front.
Some dude blue,
Yo.
Because not a lot of people know that. And Winter Soldier on that boat, his shield wasn't the red, white, and blue shield. It was just blue and white. It was the stealth shield.
It was a stealth shield.
Yeah. So a lot of people didn't notice that. That's the only time that his shield ever changed color about 23 movies.
Right. It had the blue circle instead of the red.
Just the blue and white. That's
and the gray. Yep.
And when he put it on his back, like, when he said, "I thought you was more than shield," he's like, "I'm about to catch his head, man."
And that's what they did. I like that too. I love the fact that they did that too, where she was dipping the shit. I was like,
He was like, ha, too fast. Let me crack it up.
Yeah. He was talking. They had him sounding more backdrocky.
Yeah.
Like they had him sounding more like that. Yeah. I thought that was funny. But he came back to do the voice. That's the original guy. That's the guy.
What's your favorite MCU movie? Just not off topic, but just curious.
My favorite MCU movie, I'm telling you now, it's gonna be Civil War.
Okay, all right, interesting.
I love Civil War.
It wasn't bad. I love that too, yeah. I loved it too.
Yeah, I love
That's-
the dynamics and different characters and how
Something
they
about
had
the
to deal with
Russos,
each other.
man. Something about the
Yeah,
Russo brothers. They just
yeah,
know how
it
to
is.
direct the movie. Direct the hell out of a
crazy.
You know
movie.
why?
Yo.
Because they like what they're directing. They know what they're directing. A
Yeah.
lot of these directors don't
Mike.
know nothing about this stuff.
Yeah.
Mike, tell him what's my feelings on Civil War.
He's mad because the Hawk's not there. So
No,
I
not
was
even
about to
that.
say,
Come on,
I'm about to say,
Infinity
Ant's
War.
favorite
No,
movie is
that
Incredible
was
Hulk.
that was my issue with
War.
Infinity War.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
What's your
Civil War was just trash. You know why? I'm sorry to say it. No, it wasn't trash, but it was pretty. It was one of my least favorite movies. But I want to go back and see it now. I like a really good villain, bro. There was no villain in that. The villain was some dude that wiped out. So
that man was a villain. He broke up the Avengers. He had Iron Man looking all goofy and crazy. Yeah, he definitely did his thing.
And
Come
honestly,
on,
this is the time where Dave is supposed to jump in and be like, "That was pathetic." So it's so funny that Dave ain't saying nothing because the way he act. But come on, you have some regular dude break up the Avengers. Oh, come on, man.
You had Zemo break up the Avengers though.
That's Baron Zemo.
Genius.
That's not a
That
regular
was
dude.
genius.
Like,
Look,
Yeah,
I liked Civil War because I knew that heroes was going to be fighting heroes. Zemo as a villain. Zemo as a villain, you could have flushed him. His plan was so convoluted.
Hold up, Dave.
There's
I got
way.
Dave, I got to call you on this because you're a comic book person. Zemo's been a villain for like 40 years. And in the comics, it's always been.
I'm just talking about his Civil War plan. I'm just talking about his Civil War plan, yo. That's all
I'm about to say.
His plan was cool. It's just his I mean, I just feel like, don't give me that. At the very end, I get to some dude. Like, come on, man. Give me a villain.
Man, he thwarts them powerful people all the time in the comic books. That's what Zemo does and whatnot. That's who he is. But anyway, and Dave knows this too. Whatnot.
Great. I want to touch on this, but go ahead. I'm gonna touch on this further, but go ahead, yo.
All right. So, Ant, my question was to you though, but that first scene, how you felt about that?
No, it was pretty good. I mean, it's action. You know me. I like my action. You know, they was just gave me that action. You know, Captain Carter, and I like her, man. She comes out. She's new Captain America, pretty much, and they just start banging. You know, I mean, that was it. It was just your basic. I mean, it started off with her jumping out, no parachute. Yeah. She dove in the water though, and then came out and came on the ship. Yeah. You know, it was cool.
I'll tell you what, I'd rather have Captain Carter than Anthony Mackie as Captain America. So I'll give you that or whatever. But anyway, next scene we do see the Watcher as she's fighting Backdrop. She's like, "Oh my God, what's that?" And then, you know, we see him collect her and start to collect everyone. We see the T'Challa, what is it called? Star-Lord T'Challa.
Star-Lord, yeah.
He's protecting the real Star-Lord. And he gets him. He gets Thor from the party, or not the party, but from the Ultrons or Sentries, taking them. He gets Killmonger right before they're about to get Killmonger. Shuri and Pepper, which kind of saved him a little bit, and then he gets Gamora, an episode we never saw, and where Gamora's with Tony destroying Infinity Stones with Eitri still with his hands, by the way, and then he says, "Not you, Tony," and he collects Gamora as well. Right. So the collection part of it, Dave, how you felt about that? Anybody who's collecting?
But yeah, the collection of heroes I thought was dope. After this whole podcast, I'm wondering why he didn't go get Captain Marvel, but whatever. Why he would collect a villain, I don't know. And Killmonger, obviously. Why he would collect someone who he already knows he can't trust, I don't know. Even from the time they were in that damn bar, I knew right away Killmonger's gonna fuck this up somehow, or try to do something selfish for himself. But I like the fact that he was going around and each person was like, you know, getting snatched at pivotal moments. It was dope. I expected them to be called the Multiversal Avengers, not the Guardians of the Multiverse. But
Guardians of the Multiverse is better.
Yeah, how you felt about that whole collection part, by the way?
Oh, I love the collection part. I liked when he collected them. It made sense for him to collect Killmonger. It made sense because if they're gonna collect Arlim Zola, you know he's gonna betray them. Remember, they shot the robot legs off when they put Arlim Zola in that body, so they already knew not to trust him as it was. So of course you got to get somebody else that can't be trusted to go head up with that. That made sense. That made a lot of sense to me. That just shows you what kind of being the Watcher is.
And your thoughts on it?
Yeah, personally, I wouldn't have took Killmonger, but I wouldn't have took a lot of them. But I
If
would
you ain't
just
take Killmonger, the plan would have never worked. They would have died.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't have took Killmonger, and I would have, I would have Petty Dave down there. I would have got Captain Marvel. She would have been, my number one draft pick, and but I thought it was cool, man. Listen, you remember I like the heist type stuff. Yeah. So for me, it was like building the team. I thought that was really cool. I was all into it.
And piggyback off that, and so them at the bar, him explaining to them what they were up against, and them kind of coming together to make a plan. How you felt about that whole part?
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I mean, with the exception of Thor talking about he's leaving and he's getting and come back in. But other than that, it was your normal build the team, put them together in his way. He had to snatch them from their places and tell them, listen, you together are going to save the universes, pretty much, right? So the multiverses. So I thought it was cool. I thought what was cool though was when Killmonger and T'Challa realized they kind of knew each other, and he was like, cousin. He was like, I'm not your cousin,
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was cool. He feels like, come on, cousin. He was, I'm not your cousin, bro. Dave, how you felt about the planning together? Watcher explaining to him what they're up against. They're from different multiverses. What do you think?
That was dope. It was a way to get every one of the characters motivated. Obviously, Killmonger, once they gave him that Ultron head, he started looking at it. I already knew, oh boy, he's already got something cooking. So I knew he had his own motivations for shit. But yeah, for everyone else, man, it was dope. It was like kind of getting them ready. Yeah, the planning scene. Yeah, it could have been a little bit more fleshed out, but because he sent them off, he didn't say what he was going to be sending them off to do. That first group. So kind of.
I just thought about Dave the whole Stone Crusher that Gamora had with her and stuff like that.
Red herring, like I had red herring all over. Oh yeah, we need a way to destroy the stores. I have the Stone Crusher. What does she call it? The Infinity Crusher.
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. How did Thanos get a working gauntlet? If Ichi still had his hands, like, didn't he take his hands so he couldn't make a gauntlet for anybody else? I guess in this episode he's different. He was a little more. He did go out like a little bit, so he probably let Ichi live too. So,
they said Gamora killed him in this episode too. So,
Gamora killed Thanos.
That was
in her universe. Oh
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, kill her.
That makes sense.
Gamora killer.
So yeah, that makes sense then.
Yeah. All right. We thought about the whole planning thing and stuff getting it together.
You said what?
What you thought about the whole them at the bar planning, talking? I guess getting to know each other, laughing, the whole getting.
I thought that was good. I thought that was good because once Thor was doing the clown stuff that Thor was doing, party Thor was doing, he was like, you're ready. So he, like I said, the man planned that whole mess out, and he planned it out perfectly. After fighting Ultron, he planned that mess out perfectly, and it did just what it was supposed to do. I thought that was a perfect plan. Perfect squad too. Perfect squad. I do feel Captain Marvel would have did good in there too, but now that I've seen how the whole plan went out, it makes sense.
So speaking of that with Party Thor, we do see them get to, I don't know where the hell actually, another planet.
They're at that little like
spot with no intelligent life.
They never say, right? Yeah, I don't think
they just said it was a spot with no intelligent life.
Yeah. So anyway, we get to see Strange put the armor on them. I thought it was whatnot.
That was cool, man.
It was.
That was cool.
It really was. And they all were different, by the way, if you noticed that. You go back and watch it. And then Thor, being Party Thor, he alerts the Ultron that they're there. And then the plan commences. And then we see that two of them leave. And then we see that they start to fight him, and then T'Challa steals the stone. Dave, we talk about the whole part.
That was kind of dope too. I don't like the fact that they always make Peggy. They made Peggy like the
The leader?
the focal point. Yeah, like the focal, like the main hero of
She's
the whole
Captain
shit.
America. What do
She's
you want?
Cap, bro. Yeah.
Right. She's the captain. The captain.
Yeah.
Look at Dave's face.
So, because I say that, like, it's like, oh yeah, just because she got a little bit of super soldier serum in her, she can hold down this robot that Thanos got dusted by in like half a second, but with no stones, by the way, just a little shield. But yeah, it was a dope fight. Again, a dope fight scene. It's something I would expect to actually see in a comic book. I'm going to say that for once.
Yeah.
This is one of those, the writers wrote it that way type of deal, so I'll let it slide. But it was a dope fight scene. It was very climactic. I liked how when they brought the zombies in. I was mad that they didn't bring Zombie Hulk because it would have been great to see a Zombie Hulk. Obviously, we know Scarlet Witch tossed him up because Scarlet Witch is still alive, right?
Yeah.
So I would have liked to see a Zombie Hulk going crazy. That would have been really nuts.
Well,
go ahead.
I mean, I
was gonna say what's cool was I think the significance of the zombie Wanda was because we know that okay, if you're gonna take anything from the zombie episode, you didn't see a zombie Hulk, you know. So why not take like we were all like, oh wow, Wanda as a zombie. Like I remember watching that thinking, whoa, so why not take her? So the significance from pulling something from that episode for me makes more sense to be Wanda. But that alone, I was like, oh my God. This was a moment where I paused it. I was like,
did you expect to see Hulk? Did you expect
to
see Hulk once you saw the zombies falling?
No,
you know who I expected to see?
You never expected to see Hulk?
I expected to see Spider-Man with the cape. I expected to see Spider-Man with the Doctor Strange cape.
No.
Yeah, why didn't they get him? That's crazy.
Right.
Why didn't they get him?
No, I was
you guys are saying no, but when you look at the marketing of the action figures and all that stuff, that was one of the main action figures besides Peggy Carter. Was
that might have been a swing and a miss, being that Spider-Man got his own movie coming out soon right now.
No, but I think
you know what?
Hold on. I think what they were trying to do was take something significant from that episode. So what would be the most significant thing from the zombie episode? The most powerful zombie from the episode. It wouldn't be Hulk that wasn't a zombie. It wouldn't be Spider-Man that wasn't a zombie. It would be Wanda that was a zombie. If that's the case, you might as well just take Spider-Man or Hulk from another episode. But they wanted to take something from the zombie episode. So Wanda was perfect placement. And they needed something to fight him. So Wanda was perfect placement because she was the zombie. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like that was brilliant to me. I was like, oh man.
And I agree with Josh.
For the film.
Well, I mean, they should have left Captain Marvel out of all of this and saved her for the Marvels. Then, right?
Anyway, so moving forward, so T'Challa gets the stone. They get away. He chases them where they want him to go and stuff. They got the stone crusher, but they go to throw it, and then Widow intercepts it and stuff. And then she don't know who the hell they are. Peggy explains, "I know you. You're my best friend in another multiverse or whatever." Blah blah blah. And then Ultron comes in, and now we got this stone that's bouncing all over the place. And then a fight commences. Dave, what are your thoughts on that whole part?
Yeah, the stone thing. So, if I remember the rules of the Soul Stone correctly, right? Mm-hmm. Someone has to die in order to get it. Right? Okay. After that, it's not like one person dies and you just pass it around to everybody.
On Vormir, someone got to die to get it. I think besides anybody can get it, I think, after that.
Nah, it don't explain how Ultron got it. It that is a little weird.
Well, he just lifted it right out the gauntlet.
He got it from Thanos.
When he bitched Thanos out like a little punk, he just took it off Thanos' glove. But Ultron doesn't have a life to give, so it's not like, you know.
That's the whole point.
But the fact that they had regular humans picking this stone up like it's just nothing. Like we saw what happens when somebody tries to hold an Infinity Stone in the first Guardians. They get vaporized. It's too much energy for them. You tell me Black Widow is one of the most powerful beings on the planet to be able to hold an Infinity Stone in their hand? Nah, but I'm not buying it. So, regardless, it's a cartoon, so I just wrote it off as that. But other than that, it was just typical. I kind of expected that's where the movie was going to go when they needed to release one stone, and it's going to be the toss-up. Here, you catch. Here, everybody get it. And it's like a fight for the stone. Honestly, and I'm kind of disappointed in this, Ultron did not use the rest of the stones to his advantage. right?
Okay. I don't think you know how to use
he has
them,
a reality stone. He has a reality stone there. He could have made a fake stone.
He didn't even. It seemed like he didn't know what they even were, Dave. When he seen Thanos and killed Thanos, is like he was like, "What is this?" So he
why would he install them on his body if he didn't know what they was? He knew what they was.
Because it was powerful. He knew it was power.
So he's got these stones that he don't know how to use. It makes Ultron a pretty weak villain.
I mean, look how many people had the Tesseract and didn't know a stone was in it.
That's true. But that's because at that time, believe it or not, at that time, Marvel was going to go with the Cosmic Cube before they went with the Infinity Stones.
Doesn't matter.
That's why.
Yo, Dave, being that you said that, you're a comic book guy, real quick. Yo, they have the whole Cosmic Cube thing in the Avengers video game.
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
Nice.
There's a whole, there was a DLC that came out.
Does it look like the Tesseract though, or is it the true Cosmic Cube?
Bro, it's the Cosmic Cube. Yeah.
Okay.
Cosmic Cube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called, it's Cosmic Cube. Pretty official. Let me jump into this real quick, Mike.
Yeah.
So, one I'll gripe with that Thanos. Whatchamacallit was so powerful, and Dave's probably gonna get a high off of this, but I'm gonna highlight it. He's super powerful, Ultron, and Thor throws his hammer and literally breaks one of his arms, and then he make an arm come back. I'm like, oh wow, so if Thor hammer could just break one arm, why Thor, when they had 1,000,000 hammers, right? Dr. Strange made it be 1,000,000 hammers, then why they couldn't just destroy them all up? That didn't make any sense. He throws one hammer, he goes like this and smashes his arm, so he make another arm come back. Okay, whatever. Also, what was really cool was when he said, "The hell with it, I'm gonna kill everybody." He pretty much disintegrates and blow up everybody, and you see it rewind back, and because Doctor Strange like ate the energy of the explosion. I was like, damn.
That was smart.
That was official. Yeah. That showed him really, really powerful. But it was kind of weird because you figure like if you're that powerful to do that, but you can't beat this dude. And if Thor could just break his arm off, but you can't beat this dude. But it is weird.
I guess it's saying that they could do damage, but they just can't defeat the whole thing.
Yeah. Ultron in the comics, Ultron does reform himself and rebuild himself. It's like his running thing in the comics is to always make a better version of himself. So after every loss, he analyzes how he lost and he fills in that gap. And then they find a different way to beat him and so on and so forth. Yeah.
So I'll jump on here unless you want to say something about that part.
Go ahead.
All right. So here go Mike. All right.
Yeah, I had to go on my phone. My laptop died.
Okay. Oh yeah. Isn't it cool though? Yeah. You could just jump right on this from your phone.
I know. Yeah, that's cool.
Bro,
yeah.
That's official. Yeah, Mike. So we're pretty much done. You want to talk about the fight?
No, I'm over.
Back and forth.
You don't have episodes?
Yeah, we're done.
Y'all finished the episode that quick?
No, we're not.
We just finished that fight.
All right, yeah, I'll keep moving on then. So, I thought it was dope. I thought the fight was dope. I like when they showed two different acts. They showed it from the Stone's point of view, like when he was dragging Peggy and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty cool. And I thought that when Peggy was like, don't put the pressure on him. I thought that was pretty cool too. And that. I mean, when Widow and Peggy decided to.
This reminds me of that commercial. There's a commercial where she's like, "It's not a costume party."
Oh no, that's that. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? That commercial.
Yeah. Nah, the one where it's coming out and they're like, "You don't get the whole message."
Yeah, we hear you now.
She showed up in a Caesar outfit.
Yeah, she showed up in a Caesar outfit at the business party. Yeah.
He was looking like.
All right, go ahead, Mike.
Josh comment also the Ultron did not use the Infinity Stone about breaking the reality. Can you see that one?
Let me see it. Let me pull up Josh stuff.
Not that one. Not that one. The next one. Yeah, that one.
That was the last one. Oh, he said.
Yeah, go back one. Go back one.
Ultron did not use Infinity Stones after breaking reality to confront the Watcher.
Right.
Yeah.
He used it when he gripped that
Is that
head,
true?
though.
He did.
All right. So after they fighting for the stone, Ultron realizes that Strange is the key because he's protecting them and he's more powerful than all of them. Strange. So he focuses on Strange while Peggy and Natasha decide a plan to get the Zola into Ultron. We see Strange using the dragons, not dragon, what was it, like
man.
snakes and stuff like
Yeah. The
that.
tentacles.
Yeah.
Tentacles.
I love it.
Which is like the fourth time we've seen them.
Like that.
Yeah, I don't know if they're trying to say that's Shima Gurav.
That's
I'm not
I
sure.
keep going to that, bro. I keep going back to that. I keep like,
Well,
yo,
what's
gotta be
that? What's
someone
that character called?
significant.
Demoron or Demor something?
Shima Gurav.
Shuma Garath. Yeah.
Yeah, Shima Gurav, right.
Yeah. Marvel vs. Capcom, the game, something like that. I remember that. So,
But
Yeah.
you know what that reminds me of,
but
guys?
but then,
Starro.
Don't
okay.
ever say Star Wars.
Um, yeah, and hey, Starro.
Wait, whoa. We gotta
Yeah,
have a
there you
discussion
go.
on this. Go ahead.
All right, after this. All right, so then we see Peggy and Natasha do some miraculous stuff, and we see her shoot the Zola into Ultron. What do you thought about the whole thing, D?
I don't know when.
Dave.
Natasha. Oh, sorry, Dave. It's me, right?
No, go ahead. Go, yeah, go.
Oh,
Yeah.
So when did Black Widow get Hawkeye's power?
Somebody can't shoot an arrow, bro.
We already have a guy that do that. Like that guy died. Sorry, bro. That guy died. I don't know where she got his bow from because he went down in the hole with it.
Right.
But okay, whatever. We'll just
She got a
go that
bow. He
plot
probably got
hole.
backup bows.
Plot hole. Okay. Anyway, yeah. For her to make that shot and have the USB port be right in the eye. Now I don't know if you guys have been trying to put a USB port in somewhere, but 50% of the time, don't you get it upside down wrong? You got,
I didn't take it as a USB point. I didn't take it as that. Just take it as
Yeah, I
shot
did.
on
It
the
was
eye.
a USB. It was a USB slot, bro. It was a
Yeah,
USB.
it was, but this
No, it
just
was,
penetrated
but
in his eye. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I just thought
So-
they had to
Didn't
get
matter.
through the armor.
Right. So, at any rate, she takes this miraculous shot that obviously had no need for Hawkeye ever on the Avengers to begin with. So she takes this miraculous shot. Peggy holding an Ultron, restraining an Ultron with Infinity Stones. All right, whatever. This is where the fight became incredulous.
She didn't restrain him though. She just pulled his mask back.
Yeah,
Right.
Well, yeah, she was like kind of holding on to him though. He could have just.
But
No,
that
she
was-
just
that was
pulled
a-
his mask back.
Right.
He
that
was
was
the
a
one. He could
remnant.
have grabbed her, but he didn't. But she just yanked back with all her force to pull the
That
mask
was a
up so it could
playoff.
hit the eye.
Right.
Right.
That was a playoff. That was a playoff. Cap doing that to help Thor cut Thanos' head off when he had the axe.
Don't get me
Yeah.
started on that, man.
Cap
because-
jumped back and tried to pull the axe closer to. That's what that was like.
Don't get me started
Right.
on that. Age of Ultron, Cat tried to choke a robot, so I'm gonna just leave that there.
My only issue with this, Dave, was Dave. I'm surprised you didn't get on this. That she shot the arrow and the arrow's flying, but Peggy was faster than the arrow to go through the air. I was like, wait. Peggy, she shot the arrow before Peggy jumped. I was like, hold on. And the arrow's going, and Peggy reached him before the arrow. I was like, okay, the physics is a bit off.
Well, a lot of times
No,
when people do
you know
that,
what?
there's always little timing cuts in between things.
Right.
So
And it makes sense.
Yeah.
A super
Yeah.
soldier weighs a lot. Remember when Falcon picked Cap up and he was like, whoa, you don't weigh nothing like you look. So
Yeah.
it's probably trying to say how heavy she is to fall. Because remember, she's jumping, but she's falling as she's grabbing. She's not.
I thought we
really-
established this about 10 minutes ago.
No.
That It's Captain Carter. She can do whatever the fuck she needs to do.
All right, I'll leave it alone then.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
She's Captain Carter. She can just do whatever she needs to do. That's
Yeah,
it.
because
She got
she
the
the one that took the shield and hit the truck up.
Well, go ahead, E. What's your thoughts?
On which part? Because I just felt you talking about with the arrow and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good plan. But like he said, that's where I was like, you should have kept Clint if you was gonna do a bow and arrow to the Vision's face. You guys don't feel that? You don't think they should have kept Clint for that?
No.
That would have been perfect. That would have been his thing.
You honestly think Black Widow could have hit that thing in the face the moment that
Hell
girl
yeah.
this was an
She
apology.
is a secret assassin, so she can't use a bow and arrow.
I mean, like
So
Hawkeye though.
This was them kissing her ass because he sued him.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, and she
was like, I better be the star. What if too? All right, we got you.
Right, they fixed the whole situation with her, so that's what they did
at Clint's expense.
Right. Anyways,
poor Clint.
All right, so Mike, you want to move forward, or you want to comment on that?
Yeah, go ahead. You next. Yeah, what's your comment?
I just wanted to spotlight. I thought that hit 'em high, hit 'em low thing was cool. Before that, where they was fighting Ultron, and one of them hit him low, one of them hit him high. But anyway, the motorcycle jumps off, shoot the arrow, she pulled it back. I'm just going over everything. It was a cool plan. It was a little off a little bit for me that the arrow she got there before the arrow, but I get what you guys saying. And so I was cool with the plan. The arrow penetrates, it puts Zoloff or what's his name in there, and then Ultron body just drops and hit the ground. You want to take over, Mike?
Yeah, I thought the same thing. What about the next scene where Zola and Killmonger turns on them and stuff like that? You thought about that, Dave?
My bad. Say that again.
Where Killmonger turns on them after Zola becomes Ultron. We thought about that part.
Right. Oh yeah, no, I saw that coming again a mile away from when they were in the bar scene.
Yeah.
When they were in the bar scene and he was examining the helmet, I already knew Killmonger's gonna turn on him. I didn't think Killmonger was gonna be the one to try to possess 6 stones, but yeah, he did. I didn't like that too much, and again, I don't like how that was left. That final scene was left with Zola, a computer program, and Killmonger, an already dead villain, fighting over Infinity Stones. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was a disappointing way to end this episode, to be honest.
All right, we talked about that. Zola and Killmonger turning on them, and then they're fighting over the Infinity Stone. We thought about that.
I liked it because you need. I said I liked it because you needed somebody to match how because Zola, first of all, Zola is not going to sit up there and be. This is the only thing I don't understand right here. Somebody's going to need food and all that stuff to be sitting up there struggling that long to be fighting with them stones. Am I right? Like, wouldn't Killmonger need to eat and all that stuff to be sitting up there lasting that long against Zola? So I feel like at the end, Zola's going to end up getting the stones anyway. And then what's going to happen? The evil Doctor Strange going to take it?
Okay, but well, I'll get to that. And we talked about the whole part. The Killmonger betrayal.
My one part I didn't get is how he's holding the helmet and Killmonger, and then all of a sudden it's like he's sucking off the energy, sucking off the vibranium, and he's making it just come to him, and the stones are coming out. How the hell he do that?
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
What was that? What was that? He don't got powers like that. He don't have powers at all. So that. But other than that, say that again, Mike.
Yeah.
I thought because the helmet was connected to the other Ultron body, right? So that way, as long as he had like a host, he can get the. I don't know. You're right. It was weird. I agree. Yeah. It was weird.
I can go with that, but yeah. So anyway, he gets it, and then Zoloff gets. Now he's super powerful. Zoloff get up, and I was like, oh snap! It just doesn't end there. So I thought that was kind of cool where it was going. If you don't want me to get to the end yet.
No, I'll get to there now. So we do see that Strange traps them, and I guess some sort of a bubble, and then we see
snow globe.
Yeah.
No, the same
and
thing.
he winds up talking to the Watcher, and that was the Watcher's plan all along, apparently. But Strange is still stuck, and he has to spend life watching them in that bubble from now on. How you felt about that part, D?
Again, ultimate disappointment to have those two be the last two. I see they needed to give Supreme Strange something to do because everybody in his world is dead. and everybody in his universe is dead. But he just ended up with the world's coolest snow globe, man. He gets to watch an armor going back and forth between Killmonger and Zola for the rest of the time, for what it looks
So
like.
how? That's what I'm trying to say. How when Killmonger's still human?
I guess the stones are gonna
No, he got
sustain
the whole
him.
suit on, bro. Killmonger got the whole suit on and all their stones.
Yeah, so I guess the stones will keep him sustained. I don't know. Like the episode really got. I don't know. It seemed like they were meant to do 12 episodes, and then somebody was like, "Guys, we only got budget for 9." Oh, so we got to wrap it up. And this is how they chose to wrap it up. I didn't like it. I didn't like how it ended at all. Like, and I see no way whatsoever. I see no way whatsoever how this has bigger ramifications for the MCU in general.
All right. He how you felt about the ending? His whole plan. You've been saying it the whole time. His whole plan all along. How you felt about that?
Now that was smart. That's what makes me like the Watcher as a character, and that lets me know how smart and important he's going to be for the MCU going forward. I enjoyed that. They needed that. They needed the Watcher to be like that, though. That's why I feel like they haven't brought him into play since all the other movies, besides the Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Well, all I'll say is this. If you all say that that's his plan, which was cool, so you plan to imprison a man. So, because think about it. If Killmonger would never be there if he didn't take Killmonger. So it's like, bro, that's a pretty screwed up plan. So your plan was just to get a fall guy. Hey, listen, the robots are inanimate object, but I'm going to screw over Killmonger and have him stuck for the rest of his, like, damn.
And it had to be a black dude, right? And it had to be a black dude.
Right? You watch Killmonger screw over everybody else in that universe. So you see how he looked at him? He said, "You are on my team, killer of Tony Stark," and he squinted his eyes when he said that. So he was letting him know right there, "I got you, just like you got them."
Yeah, right. You're gonna learn today.
You're gonna learn today.
Okay, and then we see Natasha. Natasha, her universe is gone, and he talks to the Watcher, and he says there's a universe that needs a Natasha. So he drops her in the one where Loki killed her from an earlier episode. So they brought it all full circle. How you felt about that part, Dave?
He just got finished telling everybody they all had to go back to their shit universes, because each one of the universes was left in shit. So you have to all go back to all your shit universes because that's the rules of time space. But then when it's her turn, it's like, okay, now you know what? I'm just gonna make the exception because
you don't have a universe to go back to.
Right. What do you mean she had no universe to go back to? Her universe is still there, it's just empty.
Right. So she's gonna die.
All right. So he's gonna send all the other people back to the universe with the zombies, where everything in turmoil. But
wait,
she's
who
special.
came from the universe with the zombies?
Nobody.
Right.
Hold on. So we have
only a zombie came from the universe.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah. Regardless, I don't think he should have just booked the space-time continuum for her. I would say her universe is still intact. He was empty. And again, at the end of the day, all you have is, I don't know, does it seem like this whole thing was about Black Widow? Like, was Black Widow the hero of this story? The hero?
It was that lawsuit. So she had to,
No, I'm going to say it started, hold up. I'm going to say it started with Peggy and it ended with Peggy, as we're going to get into this next.
That's how I felt. I hope, because I feel like Peggy's the
we will. Yeah. But how you felt about what he did with Black Widow, first and foremost?
I thought that was good. I mean, there's no way I would have been able to let her, even if I was him, there's no way I would have been able to let her go back to that hellhole. Like, there's no way. I even thought he was about to send her with Carter. But then I thought he was going to give Carter her happy ending and send her to Steve, send her with a Steve that got the serum. You know what I wanted. I wanted a whole bunch of cats running around. But yeah, I wanted a whole bunch of different cats running around. But I liked it. It did good to me. It did good. But it lets me also know that it's not over. Like something still looks like it's about to go wrong.
Well, we didn't get there. We didn't get there yet. We didn't get there.
All right.
Yeah. And on that part, we thought about what he did with Natasha.
You know what it was? Bro, you might as well break the rules. You already broke the rules when you went and got Doctor Strange. Let's just be clear. So you could do one more, you know. Like, you can't be mad if he did that because he already broke the rules, you know. And honestly, I feel like, was he really afraid of all the universe being killed, or was he afraid of his life? Because Ultron was going to...
Oh, watch him? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and you teased it earlier at the post-credit scene. You know, Peggy sees the what do they call that? I forget what it's called, but
the Doom, the Stomper, the Hydra Stomper.
Hydra Stomper, yeah. Steve was in back in the 40s, and somehow it's there now. So, and touch on that. So, why don't you start, buddy?
Yeah. So they go. So Peggy and Black Widow, they go to like this. I don't know, remote area, or like something's locked off in there. They walk up and it's all dark, and they say, "Look inside." She looks inside, and it's like, what? The Hydra Stomper. And Black Widow said, "And it's someone inside," and then it ends. So the question is, well, first of all, that was the only ending credits they had, right? The whole show.
Right.
Yeah. That was the only post-credit scene they had. Yeah.
Okay, got it. And then the question is, who's in there? Is it Steve?
Winter Soldier, Steve.
Winter Soldier Steve, you think?
Yep, Winter Soldier, Steve, Hydra Stompers.
What do you think,
Where did
Steve?
it come from?
Yo. Oh, yeah, it's got to be Steve. Who else? Nobody else wore the armor.
Right.
But, yeah, it has to be Steve. It's got to be Steve in there.
It's her Winter Soldier. I'm telling you, Steve is her Winter Soldier.
How would that suit be able to keep him alive, though? I mean, we spent a few seconds talking about Killmonger going to stay alive inside of a steel globe with Infinity Stones. How he staying alive for 60 years inside of a metal suit?
Because you don't know if Hydra operated on him and stuck him with super serum, left him in there.
Oh yeah, that super serum does hook up banging ass breakfast. You know what I mean?
Look, so I'm gonna say it is Steve because I just watched it again, and Natasha's smiling when she says someone's inside of it, and Peggy eyes open real wide and she smiles like it's not like a regular like, oh snap, they survived. It's like it's Steve. She's like,
but I think
it would make no.
I agree. I think Steve's going to be like her Bucky, but like he said, basically, I feel like it's going to be like similar when they go to What If season 2. But anyway, that's our ending. So why don't we rate the whole season as a whole and stuff?
Well,
so what do you think, Dave?
Let me real quick ask this, Mike. Did we rate each individual one? We did, right? Each episode.
I thought we did.
Yeah, but not. Yeah, we did. I
got the 4. I could just read the name of each 4, and if we want to just rate that one real
quick. Go ahead. You got it.
So let's rate What If Killmonger rescued Tony Stark? All right. I'll go first. I'm going to give that a 6. You know what? To me, the zombie one was really good. And then I feel like, so every one of them was pretty good for the most part. I feel like they started going downhill a little bit. But I'll rate that. So I'm gonna give that one a 6. Just because I'm not the biggest Killmonger fan. All of what was at stakes for me just wasn't that. I didn't really care as much. So What If Killmonger rescued Tony for me is a 6. So
I'm gonna go with Ant on this one. I'm gonna say a 6 as well. I was underwhelmed by how they used them. They made Tony an embarrassment throughout half the episode. I know we already discussed all this. We got to rehash it. I just didn't like it that much. I thought toward the end of that episode, the way they left things, how they left it on the cliffhanger, I'm like, okay, that was actually the first episode where we actually said, oh, these all connect. Because they can't just leave it like this. You know, they just can't leave Pepper walking outside with a gun next to Shuri. So I started thinking they was going to connect. But yeah, I give it a 6.
Dave? E. I'm sorry. What'd you give?
I'm giving that thing an 8.5. I enjoyed it. We all know Killmonger for the people. He's for the people. His whole problem with Wakanda is because Wakanda ain't helped the people. You know what I mean? The people like us that stuck out there So I'm definitely with Killmonger on that. So I loved it and I agree with it. 8.5 around there. Yeah,
And
Ray, I agree with you.
Ray gave it an 8.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with a 7, right between you two guys. I think it was a solid episode, but I think it was still missing some things for me. I did like
Yeah.
the Killmonger arc in the episode, though. But I'll go with a solid 7. So, what's
I'm gonna
next,
be
man?
real. You know why I was
Okay.
missing stuff? Because the directors weren't, they weren't from the people. So the directors they couldn't go as deep as we wanted to go, as deep as we
Okay,
wanted to go. We gonna go deep.
that's true.
All right. Killer Cam gave it a 9.
Killer Cam
Um,
gave it a 9. Okay, Killer Keezy.
Kill
um,
it.
so the next one is, what if Thor were an only child? Man, see, this is my problem. When you go silly, I'm gonna rate it low. But they had the amazing action with Captain Marvel, so it makes it hard. And then at the end was when they actually showed that everything is piecing together. So I'm gonna give it a 7.
Can I ask you a question, Ant, real quick?
Yes, sir.
Is silly and comedy or silly and funny the same thing to you?
I just don't know. They're not. Well, no.
So
Silly and funny.
something could be funny and not silly.
Yes, the silly is a step underneath.
You
I
got,
feel
you
like
got,
you
an,
could
you
be
got an
funny.
example. You have an example of that?
Yeah, I can feel okay. So for instance, like you
The
can have a
Suicide Squad, he was too
character,
silly.
huh?
The Suicide Squad was too silly for you. I was
Oh
only saying
my
that's what that's
god,
from.
bro. That was
What
probably
about Ant-Man? Was Ant-Man, would you consider Ant-Man silly?
borderline.
But it was
Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy is silly.
is Ant-Man better than Ragnarok in your eyes?
Ragnarok was silly. That's silly.
I see. All right. I just wanted to know. I just wanted to know like if it was all the same thing. Like if something was silly,
I got you.
then
Yeah.
that also means funny. For me, that episode would probably be like a good 8, 7, 8. The only reason why is because of the comedy factor in it, bro. Like I was laughing, I would say maybe about 10, 15 scenes. That's a lot for a half-hour show. Like
that's too much.
just the crazy stuff they were doing was, I ain't gonna lie, if I was a guy, I would have been doing the same type of shit. I'd have been doing the same type of shit, so I kind of felt them. But yeah, I thought that episode was funny, and whenever you're laughing, man, it's always a good time, So I'll give that one like a 7.5.
Right.
8.
I'm gonna go with 7. I'll give that one a 7.
And I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with a 5. Actually, I wasn't impressed with the episode at all. I mean, I thought it was. I'm with Ant actually. It was just too silly for me, and I like to laugh, but I just feel like it was just. I don't know. I don't like Party Thor that much. I like serious Thor, so it was.
Yeah,
I know
I like the little
sport.
Easter eggs.
I love that. I sure love that. I love the scoop scoops. I love that part. That makes me laugh.
Yeah, that stuff, right? Yeah.
But besides that, the fight is what gave it a 5 for me. It would have been lower than that, but for me it's a 5. So what's next then?
What if Ultron won? I guess that was pulling stuff together. That was hold up. What was all? I'm trying to dissect that between the last one. What was like really in this one? That wasn't in the last.
The fight between him and Watcher.
Captain Marvel. Yeah.
The Watcher fight. That was good for me.
I'm gonna give this man. I mean, it was good. I'll give it an 8. Give it 8.
Same. Same. If this was the episode that started weaving together what we've been watching for the first 7 episodes.
Right.
I thought it was very substantial to the entire series. Set the stage, kind of, gave the villain his big win before he gets taken down. I thought it was dope. Honestly, I can give it like an 8.5, just because also the craziness they had, like going on when he was inside the battling throughout dimension, knocking it from dimension to dimension to dimension. That was dope too. So I'll probably go like an 8.5 here. This is one of the better episodes of the entire series.
And Ray, just to add this in there, Ray gave "What If Thor Was the Only Child" 8.
What if Ultron won? What do you give it?
I give that. You talking about the Vision one, right? What if Vision one?
Yeah,
Yeah, what if?
Vision? Yeah, what if Vision one gets like a 6.5? Because the only thing I liked and enjoyed was the fight. I didn't care about none of the other stuff. I got tired of hearing Clint talking about killing himself. I got tired and giving up. Like I got tired of the little weary, dreary story. Like just give me the action at this point. So when they gave me the fight, that's what really subbed it up for me was the fight.
that makes sense. And I got one more. What is I'm gonna give it a 7 myself. Actually, I'm with E. Like the fight was great, but the rest of it was very, very, very dreary. It was entertaining though. It had a lot to it. It was one of the better, I guess, kept me focused, locked in the whole time. But overall, I'll still give it a 7. What's the last one to end?
And the last one is the "What If the Watcher Broke His Oath."
You start.
I'll just jump in there since I'm already on there. I think I'll just make that equal to the last one. That'll just get an 8 as well. No, I'll give them both. I give that 8 as well. You know what? I'll just say them doing the whole plan in the armor and stuff they put on, the Killmonger turn. Then that fight scene was epic with Doctor Strange. The one part you dipped off, Mike, and when you came back, we talked about how Ultron got pissed and said, "All right, it's done." He blew up pretty much that world, and then you see it come back together, and Strange ate the energy they had. I was like,
I love that shit.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it an 8. I give it an 8.
I'll give that episode like a solid 6, man.
Wow,
it was such a letdown for the entire series. I told you.
Make sure you give me some of that stuff you smoking.
Yo, not yet. That is the start of this week. I didn't like it because of the way it ended. To me, ending is everything, man. Ending will take a great story, and keep it great, or take a great story and just ruin it. This one here, I feel like the story was all ruined. Like I just didn't like it. I just didn't like the ending, bro. The ending killed it. If it wasn't for the ending and it had a better ending, it would probably be in the 8 range, 8.5 range, because of all the action and everything that was going on. The gigantic battle against Ultron, that was dope. That really was. But the ending just brings it down for me. It's gonna affect the rating on the whole series too. So yeah. He said I'm guardian B. change that M to a W, bro.
Right. I want El Celsior.
Yeah. It's El Celsior.
They smoking that hella.
Nah, I had high expectations. If I watched 9 episodes of something, I want to see a better ending than what I saw. That you ain't even see a winner. There's not even a winner yet. Who won? Who won? Really? Who won here?
Okay.
The Watcher.
How would you rate the last one?
The Watcher ain't
win.
The
Watcher still alive.
Nah, the Watcher won that.
He got him on guard.
I'm gonna give that an 8.5. I'm gonna give that an 8.5 because it gave me what I wanted. I love the action. I love to see Doctor Strange cast the spells around the characters. I loved when he broke the whole mountain piece they was on and crumbled it down. And they was, why won't you die? I love that. That was right in my alley. I enjoyed that. The fight with Peggy to see Scarlet Witch's shield, since it wasn't like Cap's, it wasn't vibranium. It melted off when the power.
It was vibranium. I thought, wasn't it?
Nah,
no, it wasn't. You're right. Never mind.
It wasn't. It melted off.
She had a red guardian still. You're right. Yeah. You're right.
Stayed, but hers didn't. I'm telling you that episode had a lot of good detail to go on. All the little hammers, when he made all the hammers come, and that little one came and was like ding, like it was going to do something. But yeah, was authentic to me. I enjoyed that. And like I said, the
Yeah,
Watcher
I'm
was
gonna go with it.
the Watcher was the chess player, so I felt that he got it all.
I'm gonna go with an 8.5 too. Man, I love that episode. I thought it was great, and also the part where like he tried to use his time stone, but the Strange had his own versus that. I thought that was pretty, that was pretty dope as well.
Reverse you back to me.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Infinity Uno.
Uno.
Skip you.
So I'm
They
gonna go with
hit
an
Captain
8.
Marvel with the skip.
And Dave, don't be surprised, man, if some of the stuff that we've seen in this series comes into live action. So I think it will have ramifications. But I'm gonna go with 8.5 for that.
If I see a live action Arnim Zola walking around with 6 Infinity Stones, I'm gonna just switch to DC, bro.
I'm telling you, Multiverse of Madness is gonna have all that crazy.
Well,
I might as well just go watch
this.
DC movies for the rest of my time.
Let's rate it as a whole.
Yeah. So Dave, how you rate it as a whole now?
The whole series.
7. Solid 7. There were some good episodes in there. The ending of everything really soured it. This could have easily been an 8.
You're right,
8.5. But the ending just kind of soured it and brought it down.
What's your favorite episode, Dave?
What was that? My favorite episode?
What was your favorite episode, Dave? What's your favorite episode?
The Zombies episode.
Yeah.
By far, the Zombies episode, man. Yeah. That was tough.
I'm giving it. I'm still keeping it in the 8.5 lane. It's gonna get an 8.5 out of the whole series. 8.5. Favorite episode was T'Challa with Star-Lord. I just vibed with that episode so much.
All right, Ant.
Oh man, he ain't trying to call me.
You know what's crazy, man? I'm gonna give it an 8, but here's what I gotta say. I feel like the high for me and the zombie was my favorite. Okay, so you figure we had the What If Captain Carter, right? Captain Carter kicked it off. We had T'Challa. That was pretty much a feel good, fan service episode. Sorry, man. We had the What if the mightiest heroes of the world lost the mightiest heroes, so they was dying. I was like, oh, it was espionage. Who's killing who? Then we had the Doctor Strange. It was like, wow, look how it got really dark. Then the zombies was just like, whoa, they went there, and then they went with Killmonger rescuing Tony Stark, and I felt like once the series start making them connect, at that point, it went downhill for me. I think I would have liked individual shows that didn't touch each other, because for them, it was like I was liking it more than the other Disney shows. I was like, yo, right now, What If is on the top for me, even though it's not live action. And once they start connecting it, I feel like then it's let you down, right? Like if you watch a series like Game of Thrones, right? People might say it's the best ever, but then you're like, damn, but that last episode was not good. So it's like if you keep it individual, then you won't mess anything up. Like Dave is like, who won? If they never did that, they could have the same episode, but it had nothing to do with them. Dave would have been cool with it. But like, all right, well, that episode was whatever, right? So I'm gonna give the whole thing an 8. It started off good, but it started to fizzle down for me.
All right, and I'm with E. I'm opposite. To me, I was like not that impressed at first. I like T'Challa. The zombies were cool, but I think for me, they're coming together. I'm opposite. I'm giving it 8.5. Not too much higher, but 8.5. I would say. But I liked it when it all came together. I liked the call back to other episodes. Kind of made sense to me. I watched another episode. I was like, why am I watching this? I'm almost checked out at one point. So but when it came together, it was better for me. So I'm going to 8.5. So. But
my issue
that's that, man. That was what.
No, Mike, I was just gonna say my issue when it came together, it gave me room to nitpick. That was my problem. Because if it's individual, I'm like, it is what it is. But now it's like, okay, it had to come together and be like tight. You know what I'm saying? So how you come together and you get serious episodes, then you get a silly episode, then it's like, come on, man.
You see that comment John talked about you?
Who's that, me? Talking about me?
Yeah, talking about you.
Oh,
no, he's talking about you, Dave.
Nah, I'm Prince.
Nah. No, he knows he can't contradict it.
He's talking about and zombie. Listen,
That's
they
true,
only
though,
call
and
me
you always say like
when they're being
terrible.
contradicting.
that's true, and you always do say like when it connects and stuff like that. He's right about that, Josh. Though,
Yeah.
but now you don't. So, but
Yeah, for this it didn't. For this, I was excited when it did connect. I was telling my wife, but my problem was maybe it didn't connect as well as I would have liked it to. So so here's the thing. Just because I like things to connect doesn't mean and again, what are y'all talking about? I'm the guy that always say I like to judge thing off of a solo movie. I'd get mad when people rate something because it's adding something else. So y'all might be thinking about the wrong person. But I'm the guy that's when people say, well, you can't rate that because it's this or that. And I'm like, no, bro, take a 2-hour flight. And if you could only choose one movie, that's me. I'm the guy that just rather a one and done because then I could just rate it on its own. You know,
bro,
so
remember,
yeah, I think
remember you said
mixed up. I said what?
You don't like the Netflix shows because they don't connect to the regular MCU. You don't like the Netflix shows, Daredevil, because it doesn't connect to the MCU. Huh?
Yeah, that's because that's because the those shows they remind me of like little, they're like the cheapy shows. We could all clearly see what they're doing with this. So meaning it would be amazing if they had a TV show that connect with the actual stuff, the actual movies. But what I'm saying, as a series, it was better for me when they was just individual. And here's the thing. It's foolish to take somebody's words on something else and try to twist it on something else, right? That's not cool. Like, I could be like, well, remember you said you like soda? Yeah, I do. But how come you don't like Dr. Pepper? Bro, Dr. Pepper's nasty, but you said you like soda. So because I like soda, I gotta like Dr. Pepper because it's a soda? That's not cool. But no, it would make more sense if those Netflix shows did connect, because then I will watch them. But but yeah, I just feel like this was good. When it started connect, it was cool, but then I just felt like it just didn't do it for me. You know what I'm saying?
I like Josh's last comment there. That kind of makes sense. You could put that up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. It should have gave you both. The purpose of the multiverse.
Yes.
Yeah, individual. Yeah, I mean it did, because think about it. They waited to the end of the 6 episodes out of 9 episodes to actually connect it. So that he's right though. It allow you to feel that individual and then throw it all together.
Yeah, I tell you what, I do want to see that episode.
That's pretty deep right there.
That is pretty deep. I mean, I still give it an 8.
I need something what Josh is smoking, man. Stimulating these thoughts.
Yeah,
No,
Josh is a deep dive. Anyway,
Tony story.
Hold on. E was saying something.
That's the only thing that bothered me.
Oh, say that again, E.
I want to see that. I want to see that too. Go ahead.
No, E, say that again.
Go ahead.
E.
I said that Gamora story is the only thing that bothered me because we didn't see nothing about it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think that was supposed to be there, but somehow it fell out. I think we'll see it next year. But anyway, man, that's been our series review of What If. The regular gang here. We had a lot to do this episode, so we got it through. And then we'll be back, I'm sure, for Eternals in a few weeks. And then Hawkeye series after that. Looking forward to it as well. And I appreciate you guys, always coming and watching. Everybody in the comments today was full today.
Yeah.
That was very nice. And any other comments all got? Any other comments at all, guys?
Oh yeah, nah, man.
I just want to say I'm second what you're saying. I thank all you guys, Dave and definitely E, and Mike, as usual. I always love doing stuff with you. Thank Josh for coming out, and everybody, Ray and everybody. So that's pretty
Chris,
cool. And Killicam, first time I seen him, so that was cool. Chris, my guy. BBRR. So it's just cool to have everybody show up. My boy Matt, he's driving to California right now, so he tied in. That was pretty cool. So yeah, this is fun, man, and we got more to come. So as we try to figure out a name as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still or whatever. So we'll figure it out. But anyway, man, for that, I'm Big Mike as usual.
Yep, and I'm Little Ant. Out.
All right.
Later, people.